Da 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 dong. Da 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 dong. Da 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 da. Nyaa! You've been hacked by the powerful and tubular Maine Coon. I mean, bird hacker. Chiaki Katsumi, here to steal your data and your heart. Hello, hi. Nice to meet you. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Welcome to Saint Pigeon Nations. I believe that's what this school is called. What brings you here on this 14th of February? Okay, furry. What do you mean? This is how I always look. And furry, I'm not furry. I'm a bird. Yes. As everyone knows, this is school for birds. Yes, birds. No. Humans or no other animals. You can't blow my cover like that. We're joining in the next year. Oh, really? And on Valentine's Day, apparently, even though we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day in this place. Bird with whiskers? I'm a bird. You see my wings? You see my glorious wings? I am bird. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Have you seen my boss? What do you mean? It's me. I've noticed a distinct lack of avian traits. What? I'm just a different type of bird, you know? No bird discrimination. I have wings. I'm plenty bird. Like, I bet you can't tell the difference between me and them. Like, what makes you think that I wouldn't be bird? It's because, like, I look a little bit different from them? Yeah? Well, anyways. I felt like, since you're new here, I would, show you around and stuff. But I'll probably take a form that's a little bit more, I guess, familiar to you. Are bats birds? You mean they might be bird adjacent? The rare breed of Maine cuckoo bird. Cuckoo bird? Are your bones hollow enough so you are light enough to fly? I mean, yeah, my wings can help me fly. I'll have you know. Here to explain my bird has a cat tail and cat fur? Me! Clearly. Bats bugs. Are bats birds? Yes. But, since you're new here, I thought, I would tell you a little bit about the story of this place. But we gotta go to somewhere else. We can't really be out in the hallway over here. They kinda don't know that I've been, mayhaps skipping class and stuff. So, I shall take you to a different room before someone sees us. Okay. And I will take a more familiar form to you. So stop staring at me like that. I know I look a bit different, but Okay, let's go. Hello. Hi, welcome to the Hatoful Boyfriend Deep Dive. Hello. Is this not your normal form? I mean, this is the form you guys are more familiar with, if anything. I would say. But hi. Where's Chiaki going on? It's just a weird cat with wings. What do you mean? That's me. That's me. I don't know what makes you think that that's not me. Biblically accurate, Chiaki. Biblically accurate. I had this horrible dream that you were a bird. I mean, we're in a bird school. You know what they say. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. That was a peak intro. I was trying to kind of like make it like the game. I was trying to kind of make it like the game, and since the game uses like realistic pictures of birds, I look for a realistic Maine Coon that I could use. for this. Oh god, these wings are glitching out. Oh god. So yeah, it was scarily accurate. I look for the sound effects. I look for the music. I luckily own the music for this game. That cutting introduction card is absolutely incredible. These wings are glitching out, Jesus. I didn't really have time to adjust the physics for them, so I think they're kind of just going all over the place. I appreciate the realistic Chiaki keeping the ear clips and the bow. I wanted to add the hair clip, but I couldn't make it work. Even did the cooing of the bird to really sell it. Yeah, I look for the sound effects, like the BGM and the background. Even did the card. Cutting with your name and even insane attention to detail. Yeah, I was trying to recreate like the character intro cards. Even with the sound effect and everything. I thought it would be fitting to kind of like start it kind of like how the game starts in a way. I wanted to try doing like the naming screen, but I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough time to do like the little like, oh, select your name screen. I love how well you managed to make the realistic cat looking like you. Is this how the game starts? Yeah, you do start at like the hallway. And you do meet like the first character. And it's like a realistic bird. And then they have like their little introduction card, like how I did it. Felt like I was watching someone playing the game again and crashing. I thought it would be fitting if I did like a little like introduction to it. It's scarily accurate to how the game actually goes. Having to look up the BGM, man. I luckily own the BGM for this game because apparently I have the collector's edition where they just give you the entire soundtrack of the game. So I own the BGM for this game. So I was like, oh, I guess it makes my job easier. It was harder to recreate the character card and what was it called? The sound effect. Because the sound effect was not included, so I had to actually look for the sound effect they used. Yeah, Shilin has 2D pretty... It's 2D pretty boys in the game. It's all just realistic for birds. They show the card that shows the anime design and the bird. Yeah, you have the collector's edition. It's only on Steam, I think. Yeah. But yeah, apparently I had that version, which I didn't know. Until I was looking on Steam and I was like, oh wait, I guess I have that. I don't remember getting that. Doing as far as to recreate the sound effects, she really does commit to the bit. For better or for worse, yes, I really do commit to the bit. I mean, if we're infiltrating a bird school, might as well make it as realistic as possible. They can't know that I'm a cat, hence the wings. I mean, imagine the chaos it will cause. Imagine the chaos it will cause if a cat is here. Therefore, I'm bird. I have wings. They shouldn't be able to tell the difference, I would say. So, do we get the birds now that we're in the school? Yes. This is where my little explanation of how things are in this bird school will come in. But yeah, you guys also gotta wear rings because you're canines. You're canines. You gotta wear wings so they don't think that you're, you know, another animal that's not a bird. But yes, now that we're here in this classroom where they probably won't figure me out that I'm here. Totally. Okay, we'll put the wings on. Good. Put the wings on. We have to blend in, exactly. You have to blend in. They have the realistic pupper form? No. Thrusters, does it count? Close enough, I guess. Do we get angel wings like you or more like devil wings to be more accurate? I would say probably more feathery wings would be better. If anything. I was gonna look like one of those lapdogs that get dressed up for Cupid for Valentine's. But yes. Now, what is exactly Hatoful Boyfriend Deep Dive? Just what is this game? What is this entire thing? What was the entire point of my little intro? If you by any chance somehow did not know what this is, if you somehow were under a rock when everyone was playing this game, well, I am here to tell you what that is, because, you know, it is the 14, and I thought it would be funny. It came to me in a dream to kind of do something like this. It came to me as a random idea when I was trying to think what to do for the 14. I was like, if you're under the rock when this was all over the place, I envy you. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm ready for the insanity. This game is definitely something. But what is it exactly? Well, I just know Vision Novel release. I was supposed to say Vision Novel release in like around 2014 to 2015. I don't know why it just says release. Ignore the fact that it just says release and nothing else. You guessed the year. But yeah, this was released... The first version was 2011, but the full version, which is the one that people played, was around 2014, I believe. 2014, 2015. I don't know why I forgot to just add the year there. It was released. Release sometime it was. This was initially a one-person project by Hatomoa, which is the dev. Hatomoa is also the same person that murdered my numbers, by the way. For people that didn't know, Hatomoa not only made Hatoful Boyfriend, but they're also the person that made Murder by Numbers. So, you know. Vision Novel release. It released. Didn't know it had multiple versions. There is an early build, but... I don't know if that build is playable. Both games couldn't be so different. Is Hatomoa their real name? It's the game that they go by, essentially. Actually, crazy, this was made by the same person, yeah. So the original, the first version of it was a one-person project. They're a doujin artist. And once the project like grew and it came to be the version that was released on Steam, then it became more than a one-person project, but it initially started as a one-person project. And it's known for its bizarre premise. I feel like most people here know it as like the wacky bird dating sim. So that is one of the reasons why it's known for, I would say. And it grew a cult following in the West thanks to Let's Plays. So around 2014, 2015, it was when people started playing this game. And a lot of Let's Plays were released around that time. People like PewDiePie and many other creators. I believe also Game Grumps played this game. It was when it started gaining a cult following in the West. In Japan, it kind of grew... It kind of just... You know, it wasn't really because of Let's Plays. In the West, it was mostly because of Let's Plays. It's where it got its popularity from. But, yes. That is indeed the only reason I know about this game. It's what most people do. Yeah. The cult following. It's honestly crazy to think it was only 2014, 2015 when it happened. I know, it feels like longer, but no. Bird dating sim? Wow, you really were living under a rock, huh? I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but yes. It's known for its bizarre premise of you being the only human at a school filled with birds. And yeah, you date birds. I guess it's one of the... I wouldn't say one of the first ones, but definitely one of the more well-known bizarre dating sim premises. This game was Japanese, yes. Yeah, it feels like it came out a bit longer ago. It really does, doesn't it? It really, really does. But yeah, premise essentially follows human girl who goes to a bird school. And there is where you meet all the different love interests. I'm drunk, I'm not understanding you now. Bird school dating sim? Yes, that's exactly what I said. Exactly. Did I stutter? That's exactly what I said. It definitely brought the concept of these bizarre dating sims into the mainstream. Oh yeah, for sure. It's one of the main ones that kicked off the trend of all the weird VNs, but you're some non-human thing. Essentially, but you play as a normal human. But we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. This is the MC. They don't have a canonical appearance. So that's kind of like why I had to essentially put them like this. There is no canon design for the MC. Her canonical name is Hiyoko Tosaka. No canon appearance whatsoever. She's the only human in the story. I didn't write it here, but she's also an orphan, so both parents dead. No family to speak of. Is it, did you say with birds? Like actual birds or anime birds? Birds. They have it. Like an anime design, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. They do have like the anime portrait, when you can choose to trigger that in the game if you want, but at the end of the day, they're birds. So there isn't a canon appearance. Thought there would be. There's no canon appearance for the MC. She is energetic, very optimistic. She's instinct driven, so kind of more like hunter-gatherer instincts, sort of like that. An orphan, and she ended up in a visual novel? Yes. The whole orphan thing, it's gonna be a mouse tool that we will talk about later. That's gonna be a mouse tool that we would address later because it does come into play for later. Later in the game. But for now, I feel like that's all you really need to know. She can't disappoint her parents. Oh, if only you knew. The mouse tool will come in handy later. Yes, this is a mouse tool that will come in handy later. But for now, this is what you'll essentially know about the MC. Overall, she's a very, like, it is what it is, but very optimistic as well. But yeah, there isn't really too much to say about her because her personality kind of like changes depending on the routes. But overall, this is the good general gist of what she's like. Yes. But. Now that the MC is out of the way, we talk about the interesting ones. We talk about because what will a visual novel, a bromance hook is visual novel, would be if we don't talk about the love interests. If we don't talk about the suitors in this particular case. Uh-oh, here we go. Yup, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna get here eventually. We're gonna reach the love interest, the suitors. So we kind of have to mention them. We have to see the romance options, exactly. You have to see the romance options. And starting, she's so silhouette shaped. She really is. She really is very silhouette shaped. And for the first love interest that we have, these are not in any order. These are kind of just like in the order that I kind of saw them on the wiki. So we're just gonna... I didn't really put them on like plot order or any particular order that would signify anything in the grand scheme of things. I kind of just put them depending on the wiki. So it's kind of like closer to appearance order in a way. I did try to like line some of them around the end that are a little bit more plot relevant, but you'll see when you see. Okay, so the first one. My big wings are getting in the way of like some of the text. Hold on. My big wings. Okay, I'm bucking a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, so the first one is Ryota Kawara. Kawara, yes. He's a rock dove, so this is the type of bird he is. This one. Ah! I accidentally... Hold on. Oops, you didn't see that. This one. I was trying to click on it. Kaworu Kawara. I love how they put all the effort into the customer and then they use it in the game. You can activate these in the game. There is an option where you can trigger the human portraits. So they are actually used if you choose to do so. It's more Chris is like the anime guy. But yeah, this is like the I guess the anime version of it. Yeah, it's somewhat in the game, but no one uses it since the birds are funnier. Essentially, yeah. No one really uses this mode because seeing the birds is funnier. But yeah, they use the childhood friend TM. And I would say childhood friend trope to a T. Even though, you know, he is romanceable. There is a romance ending if you choose his route. So he does have a chance if you pick him. If you're playing the game, you're doing it for the birds. You're doing just to see the photorealistic bird. He loses on his lame. No, he's not lame. He is compassionate of everyone. He is too nice. Even if people are mean to him, he'll be like, oh yeah, but we can be nice to each other. And we can try to solve things by being nice. So he's the very, very, very nice person. Maybe a little too nice sometimes. Maybe perhaps a little too nice. He's also very sickly. Like, he goes to the infirmary quite often, and it plays a role in his route quite a bit. So he's a pushover. You don't gotta do him like that. Oh, it's in the rules, boss. Childhood friends are lame and always lose. What do you mean? 'Tis not true. Yeah, he's the type of sickly character. He's always at the infirmary. It's the type of dynamic in this route is that you're always taking care of him. So I guess if you really enjoy the whole, oh yeah, I'll take care of you, then there's that. Cause that's kind of like very much the vibe that this guy gives. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean by wishes for coexistence? This is a mouse tool that'll come in handy later. So, at the beginning of the game, Ryota will... You see something about asking you like, oh, would you like to fulfill a promise or continue on? Like, without knowing what the promise is. And that promise is gonna come in handy later. That's a mouse tool we're gonna use for later. But he wishes for coexistence because there is, So things between humans and birds are kind of like... You know, they're not the best. And there's a reason for that. Which we will find out later. He wishes for the birds to become part of society. He kind of just wants everyone to get along, you know, in a happy, perfect world where everyone gets along. Essentially. That's all he wants. He just wants everybody to get along. And be friends with each other. Like, it's another episode of My Little Pony. And his route kind of handles a lot of themes related to fear of change and loss. So, Ryota here, this guy over here, he has a very deep fear of losing people and essentially, like, things changing. He wants essentially everything to always be the same. And that's one of the things in which he struggles with in his route. Especially when his mom falls ill. His mom eventually becomes ill and he has to get like a part-time job to kind of like essentially get enough money to get her to the hospital. So he has a very big fear of like losing things and things changing for the worse. And during his route, you kind of like, you know, help him work through that. Sorry, Ryota, the housing market's already bad enough. I can't have birds here to take my apartment. Maybe the birds should stop stealing my bread if they want to get along. He's the clingy type. Yes and no. Yes and no. In a way. In a way he kinda is, but he's also not as much as someone else. As someone else that is gonna be addressed later. But yeah. The themes in this route essentially go over change, loss, being afraid of things changing, friends leaving him, stuff like that. Yeah, not the smothering one. No, it's more like a puppy, if you will. It's kind of more like a puppy sort of thing. And then we have Nageki Fujishiro. This is the one that apparently a lot of people played first for whatever reason. When I was looking and trying to remember everything that was going on in this game, because I played this game like forever ago out of curiosity, I found out that a lot of people apparently played with his route first, which I'm sorry for your loss, but he's not a lover, he's a pet dog. When did I say that? Dead. Yeah, well, this is... But this is like dead. Okay. So, Nageki Fujishiro. The type of bird he is a mourning dove, which is this one. He is the reserved, quiet, introverted, bit antisocial bird that is at the library. And he's also dead. Yes, so the whole thing with Nageki is that no one can see him except you. And you find out that the reason why no one else can see him is because he's actually dead. And he's a ghost haunting the library. And during his entire route, you're trying to help him accept and move on to the fact that he's dead. Because he doesn't remember that he died. He doesn't remember how he died. He doesn't remember the circumstances surrounding his death. And as you kind of like go to the library and just talk to the ghost there, because I guess, I don't know, you don't have any friends or I don't know. You end up like bonding with him. And you help him realize what exactly happened. But this thing, this thing, you don't exactly know how he died until a certain point in the game, which is another mouse tool that will come in handy later. That's another mouse tool that may come in handy later. And he has kind of like a bittersweet ending, since his entire route is about helping him move on and accept the fact that he's dead, that he can't just have a normal school life with everyone else because he's dead. So the ending kind of is, you know, helping him move on and move on to the next plane of existence, which, you know, makes it a bittersweet ending. He died, but don't worry, he got better. He did the... Well, that's a problem. I don't think they accept marriage with ghosts. I'm afraid not. Reminds you of a certain character from a certain other well-known VN. Yeah. Yeah. We're racking up mouse tools. We're already racking them up pretty quickly. But don't worry, they're all gonna come in handy once we reach a certain point. But yeah, the circumstances regarding his death, they tie into the plot quite a bit. But we're not gonna know what those are until way later, though. All that you really find out from his route is, like, he's dead. You're gonna help him, like, kind of remember how he died, but not fully why or, like, what the rest of the circumstances were. And you help him move on. And then you become sad because, you know, you're alone again now. But, yes. That's essentially, like, the circumstances. What is a Mousecatool? Do you not watch like Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse? It's essentially just a clue. And it's the episode where every mouse kit tool is a mystery tool. Yeah. Yes, essentially. But yeah, it's essentially just a clue. A thing that's gonna come in handy later. Mouse kit tool is because it's Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. That's why it's called a mouse kit tool. Yeah, so we're already starting in the sad. We're already starting getting into sad. This is... Well, like... no, never mind. It's one of the sadder routes. For now. It's one of the more depresso espresso routes. Then you got this bozo. I searched a mouse kit tool. Mouse kit tools were just tools, but Mickey's a narcissist and he has to make it about him. Yes. Then we got this bozo. So far I got the pushover and the dead guy. We got Sakuya Lebel Shirogane. He's a fantail pigeon. This little guy over here. He's a snobby aristocrat. I think you can tell. I think you can actually kind of tell based on his design. I hate his face. It's so punchable. Don't worry. His personality is also punchable. Oh, God. Yeah, that... Look at this guy. I know what he's all about. You can tell with his design. You kind of know what he's all about. He is definitely the gifted child. The spoiled, brat. What was it called? Child with the silver spoon or something? Yeah, all of the above. All of the above. Even the bird version is so snobbish looking. Yeah, he looks down on others. He is, he's always calling everyone like peasants and whatnot. You know, your typical snobby aristocrat. All that nonsense. I don't even need to see his appearance. I can tell he's a snobby aristocrat just from his name. Yeah, but you know, just because he's snobby and annoying and a jerk and all of the above, and because he's gifted and he's smart and blah 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 blah, yeah, all that nonsense about how he's perfect and whatnot, but his personality sucks. And but a part of him is a bit jealous of MC over here, Hiyoko, because Hiyoko's very simple-minded. She kind of just like knows what she wants and she's like, I'ma get that. But he's not like that because he's kind of like very... What's it called? He's a bit of a stick in the mud, if you will. In the sense of like, oh, I'm an aristocrat. I gotta do things this way because like, God forbid an aristocrat eats like peasant food or whatever. So he kind of is jealous of MC because MC is more true to herself than this bozo is. And while you talk to him, he kind of is a little bit envious of you because of that. He wishes to be head empty. In a way, he wishes to be head empty. Tradition bound versus the free spiritedness of the MC. Essentially, yeah. Since he was born into being like an aristocrat, he kind of like has to live to a certain standard and whatnot. And his root kind of deals with the pursuit of passion over expectations. Since he is born rich or whatever. Since he's born rich and he has to live in his mansion with his butler and whatnot. He kind of has certain expectations tied to his persona of like, oh yeah, you're an aristocrat. You gotta do this and that. But one of his passions here is music. He wants to be a musician, but his parents don't allow him to be a musician because aristocrats are not musicians. They manage musicians. God forbid you touch an instrument. God forbid your hands get calluses because you played the guitar. So even though he prefers playing the piano, not the guitar, but still, you get the idea. He wants to become a musician, but his family doesn't allow him to do so. he kind of has that internal struggle of like, oh, but do I do what people expect of me or do I follow my heart? Sort of vibe. Poor guy, I'm sure he cries himself to sleep every night in his pile of money. Oh, God. Touch the violin or piano disowned. Exactly. So essentially his family kind of just thinks that playing instruments is like something the commoners do or something people of lower social classes do. And they just, you know, they need to stand above the others and whatnot. So his entire route is about helping him, I guess, come to terms with like, what do you actually want? Do you want to live for yourself or do you want to just live the way people want you to live? That's kind of like the main theme in his route. No son of mine will touch a filthy instrument. Pecks at a worm. Exactly. Oh, God. Interesting they had the issue because he can't play the piano since normally the piano is the instrument that the rich character always plays. Yeah. Isn't instruments supposed to be class in high class? Not for birds. Not for birds. Remember, these are birds. So, in his family's mind, rich people are supposed to manage musicians, not be the musicians. Lebed. Hi, Meow. Piano and violin are the rich people instruments. Yeah, in order to actually get his best standing, you actually have to play piano. There is stats in this game. The stats, they come in handy for some characters if you want to get their better endings. He's one of them. In order to actually get his better ending, you gotta learn how to play that instrument because he likes instruments, but he's troubled and whatnot. He's a troubled musician, I guess. You actually learn to play the piano. There is like stat racing in this game. There's stats like Persona. In a way, but it's more simplified. It's a way more simplified system. But yes, that is this bozo. And then we have this guy. Yuya Sakasaki. Yeah, Sakasaki. He's also a fantail pigeon. He's a half-brother to Sakuya. That's another mouse guitar. That's gonna come in handy later. We're collecting a lot of them, I'm sorry. They're gonna really come in handy later. So, he's also the flirtatious type of character. Very carefree, very... You know. He lives as it goes. I'm running out of space in my backpack. There's too many tools, I know. There's too many of them. Girl, is anything skin on a mouse tool? Once we reach that point, once we reach the certain point in time where all the mouse tools come together, you will see. You will see. All these mouse tools. Remember, this is still the part of the game where, you know, you're kind of just, you know, seeing what this game is about. Just the funny pigeons, you know? You can tell which one of these guys was Chiaki's least favorite, considering she can only call one of them a bozo. So many clues and not a single answer. Oh, you'll see them. You'll see them. He has a very strong desire to protect others. And you're probably wondering where this comes from. It comes from here. He is a spy. He's an undercover agent for the Dove Party. So what is the Dove Party? The Dove Party. So there's two parties in this game. There's the Dove Party and there's the Hawk Party. The Dove Party is the one that wants to coexist with humans. Guess what the Hawk Party wants? Guess what the Hawk Party wants? So, he's one of the good guys. He's one of the good guys. To eat humans war. First part of a political firefight. And this is where you find out about the 2 in-game political parties. Yes, this is actually a thing that is in the game. There is 2 in-game political parties. There's the Dove Party and there's the Hawk Party. The Dove Party are essentially the good guys, we just want to coexist with humans. And the Hawk Party is... not so nice. Is the not so nice party. I would say this is kind of like the James Bond route of the game. Oh god, this is kind of like the James Bond route of the game. Because he is a spy. And he's essentially trying to go on his secret mission to investigate more about what's going on in the school and whatnot. And obviously, he's trying to keep you at arm's length so you don't get involved into what is gonna happen in this game. Into the nonsense that's gonna happen in this game. Coming soon to a theater near you. Oh, the name's Sakasaki. Yuya Sakasaki. Bro thinks he's the 007. He kinda is the 007. It kinda is. But yeah, the strong desire to protect others also comes related to his brother, Sakuya, to his half-brother, Sakuya. But Sakuya doesn't care about him because he's a jerk and because, you know, he's not rich. And Sakuya only cares if you're rich. So yeah, he's like, oh, I want to protect my brother and I care so much about my brother, but his brother doesn't care. His brother couldn't care less, honestly. We're gonna do a deep dive on dumb politics. This is a mouse tool that's gonna come in handy later. Oh boy. This game starts out weird, it gets weirder and weirder, and this is not even the tip of the iceberg. Noted, half-brother to the bozo. Yes, he's the half-brother to the bozo. Does Sakuya have any good traits? He kind of becomes nicer if you know, help him get over his complex of wanting to be a musician. And you tell him to pursue his dreams and not let people, like, tell him how to live his life. He kind of becomes, like, 5% nicer at that point. Oh, God. He's literally that way. But... so this is the reason why people, like... I feel like most people saw this guy's route and that's essentially what they know about this game. So, this is Oko-san. It's just a bird. This one's just a bird. He's also a fantail pigeon. There's like 3 of them in this game for some reason. He's very hyperactive. He only really makes sounds. He doesn't actually speak like the other ones. He's the joke root of the game. That's literally it. It's literally the joke root. There is nothing substantial in his root. Finally, a romance option that appeals to me. It's essentially about pudding. Pudding. Yes. Pudding. He speaks in third person. All the time. All the time. He's very hot-headed. You can very easily provoke him if you say something bad about pudding. Definitely joke root. The joke root in this otherwise extremely serious game. Yep. This is the route that probably most people played and was like, oh yeah, funny pigeon game. Until... Why he's so much more manly looking than the other ones? This one has the most appealing traits so far. Honestly, I get it. I would have a whole route about pudding. He's very simple-minded. His entire route is about finding the ultimate pudding. And essentially, he becomes a pudding god. And then he ascends and becomes a pudding deity. I'm serious right now. I am 100% serious. Every word that I just said is 100% serious. I wish I was joking. This is why it's the joke route of this game. Yeah, I think this was the one most people went for when playing the game. Yeah, so this is essentially the reason why people don't even know half of what's going on in this game. As one does, yeah, pudding deity. Yes, he's a pudding deity, canonically. He's the reason I wanted to block out the game. So he's Bird Jesus. He's kind of like Bird Jesus, but also pudding. Yes. Not surprised, yeah. Being friends with the bird is something the pudding deity status is pretty cool. Such character development. Yes, he becomes pudding god. He ascends to pudding god status. That's essentially what happens with him. That there really isn't much to say about him other than that. It's as straightforward as it gets, I would say. I feel like this is one of the most straightforward ones. For better or for worse, because there's no mouse tools for this one. You get exactly what you see. You get exactly what you see. You signed up for this route, you signed up for the joke route. That's essentially what you signed up for. He's pretty simple-minded like that. It's as simple as that, yes. Is this guy the top of the iceberg? I would say if we went from like top to bottom on an iceberg, he's technically the top because I feel this is the route most people played. I feel like he is the top of the iceberg just because this is one of the routes most people played, other than Nagaki's. So yeah, I would say he'll be top of the iceberg. I feel like most Let's players just played his route because it's like the weirdest one and the most like joke route of the game. He's simple like that. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay. Do I really have to tell you what his personality is? Even if you don't see this word, I think you can tell. I think you can tell what he's supposed to be, even if you don't read what it says here. I wonder what his character trope is. That's Angel Higure. He is a Luzon Bleeding Heart Dove. This guy. Oh, by the way, the real bird does have this. I looked it up because I thought maybe they just added this on the game, but no, the real bird actually does look like this. They do have this red stain on the chest. I wonder what kind of character he could be. Even the name and type of bird he uses is so edgy sounding. Yeah. He is Chuni. I mean, look at his design. I'm pretty sure you could have tell. I'm pretty sure you could tell he's edgy. Wow, bird lore. They just get red feathers there? They do have like reddish feathers in here. Foreshadowing is a narrative device. And you're probably wondering, why did I write that? Why did I say foreshadowing is a narrative device? So a lot of the things that this guy says, if you read between the lines, he's essentially saying very important things to the plot. But you wouldn't understand it unless you speak Chuni. Unless you speak Chuni, you're probably not gonna understand whatever he's spouting out of his mouth. But yeah, foreshadowing is a narrative device because this guy, you know, unless you're a Chuni whisperer, you would know. Chiaki speaks Chuni, so she understood him. I'm not Chuni enough. Can you translate for us, Chiaki? Don't worry. Whatever it is that he says, we'll find out soon enough. Soon enough. Is this Chiaki's favorite? Actually, no. This wasn't... Like, the time that I played, this guy wasn't my favorite. I don't think you would have guessed who my favorite was. He's also a mangaka of an in-game... I guess an in-game manga called Absolute Zero. So why did I write this is because Absolute Zero is essentially like an alternate timeline that he wrote. But the way that he wrote things, there are things that actually happened in the game. They're actually things that happen in the game, but they're distorted to be more fantastical sounding. Was it Oko-san? It wasn't a childhood friend either. It's not Ryota, no. And it's not Oko-san either. But then this is where it ties into this. Is he psychic? Not necessarily psychic. More than he knows more than what he tells, I guess. To the dead guy? No. The boss? No! It's not Sakuya, no. And then there's the whole deals with fantasy as a code mechanism to trauma. So a lot of the chuny things he says are related to the situation that is currently going on in the game. But you don't know that because, you know, you're not a chuny whisperer. Since you're not a chuny whisperer, you wouldn't understand what he's trying to say. So you just think like, oh, he's just being chuny. But he's not. Well, he is, but also not really. The boss like James Bond. Yeah, it was the James Bond bird. When I first played this game, the James Bond bird was actually my favorite character. Is it the one that has not been revealed yet? No. We already talked about the one that was my favorite. It was the James Bond bird. And it kind of leads into the highest emotional... You could say his route is one of the ones that has the most emotional depth just because of the thematics of the fact that he's using his chuny delusions to kind of cope with the nonsense that's going on in this game. The things that he and many other characters have seen in this game. And that we have yet to even talk about, mind you. That he's one of the people that is aware of what's going on. And in order to not accept that reality, he's chuny and he says chuny things. I love how clever they were with hiding relevant information behind this chuny. Using his solution to cope with this trauma. He's actually a legit chuny. He is. I actually had a feeling it was the James Bond one just because how she reacted when I said he wasn't the 007. I mean, I played this game a while ago, but yeah. I had to like look up some of the information because I couldn't remember everything from the top of my head. So I had to refresh my memory by checking the wiki. And then... we're missing, I believe, another one after this one. This was the guy I remember the least. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was the route I remember the least. It's the one that I had to like read up on the most. And I was like, that actually happened. Anyway. This is Kazuaki Nanaki. He's a king quail. This guy, this bird. He is the teacher. He's very absent-minded, low-key, a bit narcoleptic too. So that's a bit concerning, but... I did forget this guy existed. I honestly forgot about it. He's self-aware of the nonsense, yes. Currently having cinematic and emotional background music for documentary videos and film playing in the background as a joke. And so far it's been a transcending experience. That one unmemorable route. In a way... I guess his route, it's not as crazy as some of the other ones. I say that, but yes. Anyway, so he's also very emotionally fragile and very withdrawn. It kind of comes with the fact that he's absent-minded. He doesn't really show a lot of like emotion, but in reality, he's kind of, well, yes. He can't really stand seeing people in pain. He's very sensitive to other people's, like, emotions in a way. I was about to say not crazy, but those bullet points are wild. Yeah. So, he also, if you interact with him a lot, he kind of develops an emotional dependence on the MC. And the reason for that is kind of related because you become his emotional anchor. Because he's currently suffering from guilt. He essentially killed his friend because his friend was suffering. And he feels guilty over doing that, but it's also on the side of like, well, at least they won't have to suffer anymore. But because his friend is gone, and he essentially has nobody until like you start talking to him, and he becomes close to you, he essentially becomes emotionally dependent on you. And he essentially like tells you like, oh yeah, I used to have a friend, but then like, you know, they were suffering and I killed them. And it's like, So he becomes low-key kind of obsessed with the MC because of that. Is he a psycho? More than a... I don't know. I wouldn't say he's the psycho one just because there's someone worse. Just because there's someone worse. But there's definitely a lot of like moral ambiguity when it comes to this guy. Yeah, I forgot all about this. That's a crazy dark thing for a game about dating pigeons. There's someone worse. Oh yes, there's someone way worse. There's someone way worse. You're gonna meet him right after this one. But yeah, the whole route is about like, in a way, if you decide to forgive what he did, and if you're really willing to become that emotional anchor that he kinda... I guess he kinda needs, in a way. But he's not the worst. He's not the worst offender. Oh, no. There's someone way worse. There's someone way worse. So it's like the lesser of two evils. In a way, he is like... he's kind of like the lesser of two evils simply because, like, he doesn't do it out of malice. You know what I mean? His reasoning is not out of malice, but out of like, oh, I don't want them to suffer. And then like, they're gonna leave me, and then I'm gonna suffer, but they're suffering, and I'm suffering, and yeah. So it's not really out of a place of malice, like someone else. But out of like, I guess a place of... I don't know if over-empathy is the right word. Like, you're scaring me! Oh, don't worry, he's gonna scare you. He scared me! Oh boy, and... oh, no. Oh, this guy. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is Shui Wamine. This is the... oh, jeez. He's a Chukar partridge. This little round burb over here. He is a very morally detached. He doesn't really have morals. He's very scientific driven, so if he's curious about something, then he's gonna find out about it, even if that means hurting people, hurting birds, hurting whatever. He objectifies the MC no matter what. He doesn't really see the MC as a person. He kind of sees the MC as kind of like an experiment of sorts. So when you do his route and you start talking with him, you start going to the infirmary a lot, because why would you do that? But anyways, if you start doing that and he asks you if like, oh yeah, you're a human and like, I need to do more research, so like if you can like do this for me and become my he starts experimenting on you, and you're like, okay, sure, I guess I can help you, but yeah, that's a bad idea. In his eyes, you're not a person, you're just an experiment. His research is tied to the pandemic. Oh, that's a mouse tool though, it's gonna come out later. And don't worry, that's coming up soon. That's why I wrote it in here. His entire route, in a way, it deals with ethics and science and morality, because he's a very science-driven bird. Drink this. I need to know if it's toxic to humans. Essentially. In other words, he's all crazy and detached. Yeah, the OG. I just love human experimentation fruit. It's the I can fix him. Yeah. Hi, yes, I want you to jump on this pogo stick that is not strapped to that. Yeah, so his route is entirely focused on, like, ethics and science and morality just because he kind of pushes how far he can really go with the experiment until you die. Until you die. And it is the darkest route in the game because you do die. And he likes keeping your head in a jar before he uninstalls from the live program. So you do die. He is the darkest route in the game just because he is very messed up. Well, you die, you do die. The burb is so round. He is so rotund, isn't he? So what? Yeah, I don't know about fixing him. In a jar, he is. That's why I said the other guy's not even the worst of it, because this guy exists. He's not the worst of it, because this guy exists. Those are all the love interests. Those are all the suitors that you meet in this game. Sudden school days are out. This was supposed to be a buddy bird dating sim. What happened? Don't worry. Strap in, it's only gonna get worse. Ooh. Oh god. Now that you've had all the love interests and you played every single one of their routes, now you've reached. This is your reward for playing the entirety of the game. Welcome to the hurtful boyfriend storyline path, or bad boys love as they call it as well. And there's a reason why I put all these pictures here. Because it only... if you thought the little bits that I actually mentioned are kind of crazy, oh, it only goes even crazier from here. It only goes even more insane from here. Welcome to the second layer of the iceberg. I don't think I've ever actually heard about this. I had no clue it got this deep. This is the very concerned faces because this was me the first time I played this. The first time I got to that path point. Yeah, that was me. I was like, oh, what is going on in this game? But yes, to play the word Hatoful, hurtful, yes. This is what it said when I block this, because if you look up this term, you know what the route is, you know what the path is, which is why I blocked this word yesterday. Oh boy. But yes, what is the hurtful boyfriend story path? The tip of the iceberg of this game of all time. Oh, and this is the part most people don't know about. Yeah, this is the part that most people didn't play up to. They didn't read you this. There's a whole other route. It's like another branch that you only unlock after having played every single route in the game and having reached all the good endings for everybody. And this is your reward. This is your reward for having made everybody happy. Congratulations. It's only gonna get worse from here. Welcome to the real plot of the game. We have a global pandemic, birds as a dominant species, political conspiracies, and coexistence versus extinction. So, now that that's out of the way, we can talk about how is it that there's only one human that goes to a school, precisely. Why are you a human going to a school for birds? Why are birds intelligent? What is this political conspiracies that's going on in this game? And what is this coexistence versus extinction thing? So, what Hatoful Boyfriend doesn't mention, mind you, because it's trying to be a haha silly bird dating game, is that at the beginning of the game, there is a global pandemic that happens. It's like a strain of avian influenza, basically, that eradicates almost a big chunk of the human species. And while a big chunk of the human species is eradicated, birds kind of evolve as a species. They become more intelligent, and they end up becoming the dominant species. And in this chaos that's going on between like humans and birds being smarter and wanting to be the dominant species, there comes the argument of coexistence versus extinction. And the two political parties that I mentioned before, which is the Dove Party and the Hawk Party. So Dove Party, as I mentioned before, they want to coexist with humans. They just want to, you know, we cool with them. The Hawk Party, not really. The Hawk Party just wants to eliminate humans altogether. And the political conspiracies, they kind of tie in with the virus TM. It kind of ties in with what exactly was the virus. So, once the virus happened, the pandemic, they'd allowed birds to stand on top since a huge chunk of the human race was eliminated. Are birds and Hatoful Boyfriend still normal size or human size? I think they're never really specified. I'm assuming they're more human size. It gave birth to the two political parties, the Hawk and the Dove parties. And the virus was not fully natural. It is later discovered in the game that the virus was not exactly fully natural when it happened, and why it killed as many humans as it did. And Mr. Shu Iwamine, the partridge you saw before, is involved in said research, as he is a member of the Hawk Party, and he was sent to the school to kind of keep an eye on things. Are all humans a victim of the birds the MC's delusions? No, they actually do look like birds. They're not the MC's delusions. And this virus is also used as a method of control. It's essentially used as a way to keep humans in check, so humans don't... I guess the humans that are left don't try to overtake the birds. So they use the virus as a means to kind of keep them in place, if that makes sense. And then, big discoveries! Yippee! So, in Hurtful Boyfriend, how Hurtful Boyfriend starts is that MC dies. But we don't know how she died. That's how the route starts. MC is dead. But why is she dead? So, since the MC is dead, she's found dead. Her body parts are found around the school. You essentially take the role of Ryota, so your childhood friend, and you join in with the rest of the other birds as you try to investigate what happened. Why is she dead? What happened to her? What is going on in this game? So, and while you're trying to figure that out, and you're hanging out with the other birds, all investigating what is even going on in this game, you find out that there's a file. It's the human representative file. And this file says that Hiyoko here, MC, was sent in to the bird school as a symbol of peace, as like, okay, we have a human here, she can coexist with the birds, and you guys will not murder us. But since she's dead, since she was killed, and we don't know who did that, that piece is kind of gone. that symbol of peace between both sides of like, hey, we have a human here, so like you guys get along with us and you know all that. Well, since she's dead, well, peace is out the window now. So now that that's going on, the school is essentially put under a dome to kind of like protect the birds from like the humans. But while that dome is going on, and while essentially Ryoda and the others are trying to investigate what is going on here, the humans are trying to break through the dome to kill the other birds because they're not very happy that the symbol of peace was killed. So there's that going on in the background too. So some birds, you know, they don't make it under a dome, yeah. And while, you know, all that is going on and stuff, Yuya decides that this is the perfect moment to kind of confess to his brother that, in reality, they're not half-blooded siblings, and the thing is, he kind of sacrificed his actual half-brother to kind of make sure that Sakuya could be born. Because of some circumstances that happened. He had to sacrifice his actual half-brother to make sure that Sakuya could be born in a place where he wouldn't be murdered, essentially. And Sakuya was not the wiser. And he finds this out until, Yuya is almost about to die. Because, Shu here doesn't like them snooping around and trying to find out all this information that was supposed to stay under covers. Kind of interesting though, the characters are doves, which are traditionally a symbol of peace, but in this case, it's the human who is the symbol of peace. Exactly. Does Yuya die? Maybe. we will see that. Are you sure you're not discovering some real life 21st century power struggle? No, this is actually the game. Oh god. And remember, as I mentioned, that the whole thing about Nageki being dead was a mouse tool that was gonna come in handy later. So you see, the whole thing of Nageki being dead was that within the school grounds, there was this facility. There was this hidden facility where they were essentially running tests with a much stronger virus strain that would be sure to eliminate humans. This is where it comes into place that the virus was not fully natural and it was genetically modified to kind of kill like a bigger chunk of humans. Nageki was a test subject of that. He was essentially a test subject that contained a stronger strain of the virus, and once he found that out, he essentially uninstalled from life by trying to burn down the facility in which this strain was essentially being created to make sure that this strain wouldn't reach humans. And that's essentially why he is trapped where he is. He can't really, like, move on. Really funny at age 5 and 1 since age 1 and 1, yeah. That was the name of the strain that they gave it, but yeah. That's essentially behind the circumstances of Nageki's death, but you don't really find out until this point in the game. And so you find that out, and you're like, oh no. And you would think, oh hey, well, unfortunately, you know, Nageki passed away, but at least that means the virus is, you know, it's gone. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Hyoko would be proud of him if she wasn't dead already. Yeah. Here is where things kinda change. So the thing is that you would have thought that the bird flu would be gone with Nageki being gone, but the reality of the situation is much different. As I mentioned before, Ryota being sickly was a Mouseketeer we're gonna talk about later. And at some point, while he was in the infirmary, recovering from like a stomach bug, he received a transplant from Nagaki. And that means that he inherited the virus. And since he was usually very sickly, and Hiyoko and him were, you know, childhood friends, she decided to pay him a visit at the infirmary. And if you put 2 and 2 together, you can kinda guess how did Hiyoko die at that point in time. And why she's dead. So that's what killed her. Yep. That is what killed her. The one who cut up the body was Shu, but the actual person who killed her was Ryota himself, unknowingly. Until like Shu finally decides to tell him, like, oh, I didn't kill her. The only thing I did was kind of like put her body all over the school, but I wasn't the one who killed her. You were the one who killed her. And while Ryota obviously, naturally, kind of has a mental breakdown at the realization that, you know, he was the one who killed his best friend. Which, you know, he's like, I've been trying to find the killer all this time, only to find out that it was me. And as I mentioned the promise at the beginning of the game, this is where that promise comes in. At the beginning, they kind of ask you if you want to fulfill a promise or would you like to forget about said promise. So that promise was that... So Ryota's dad was a scientist. He was one of the few people that Shu actually look up to. He was nice to, for once. And he really looked up to Ryota's dad. And when Ryota's dad passed... He never really had a lot of time to spend time with his son. And he told Shu, oh, I never got a lot of time to spend with my son. So I want you... my last wish is for you to do something nice for my son. That's all. I want you to do something nice for him because I wasn't able to be there for him. And Ryota had a wish. He had a wish after he and Hiyoko kind of experienced this assassination at the orphanage. They experienced the assassination of Hiyoko's parents at this orphanage. They were trying to protect this orphanage, and they were essentially trying to negotiate for the human side, but the birds didn't really want any negotiations. And Ryota and Hiyoko kind of experienced that, and obviously Ryota blocked those memories until this point in time when he finally remembers that, and he's like, oh, I just wish for coexistence between, you know, birds and humans. But Shu's idea was like, oh, if you just want humans and birds to get along, then just eliminate humans out of the equation. Easy. They won't fight anymore. So he essentially said, I want humans and birds to not fight anymore. And Shu's idea to solve that issue was like, well, just eliminate the humans, then they won't fight anymore. So his way of fulfilling Ryota's wish was to like implant the virus on Ryota, so that way he will eliminate the humans and they'd be like, well, they can't fight if they're dead now, can they? So he granted Ryota's wish, but not in the way that he would have liked. Oh, he has a point if they're dead. They can't. Technically correct. This is like Skynet logic. Yeah. So essentially, Shu confesses like, oh, I granted your wish. I did what your dad wanted me to do. I helped you. I made your wish come true. Birds and humans can't fight if the humans are dead. It's like, oh, I see. And the monkey paw curls. Yes, the monkey paw curls. And since Ryota has a strain of the stronger virus, he decides to stay behind while everyone else escapes the school. Once Shu is dead, because they kill Shu off, because, you know, you can't leave him alive. He's a menace. Even when he finally decides to give up and he's like, okay, I'll give up. I won't put up a fight anymore. They still kill him anyway, because would you really trust him? Would you really trust him to actually keep his word? So yeah, they killed him off because can't trust that guy to keep his word. But Ryota decides to stay behind with Hiyoko, or what remains of Hiyoko, I guess, until like a cure can be found, because he doesn't want to go out into the world and essentially kill all the humans just by being around them. So he stays behind until a cure can be found. I'm understanding why Chiaki has that reaction when she first introduced Shu. I thought he was already insane during his route, but oh boy. Oh god. Bro deserves what he gets. Wait, is that why Shu tests with you in the original route? Is he testing different versions of the virus? He's essentially doing more research, yes. H5N1 is a real virus. There was an outbreak in my country back in 2004, and there was a huge scare for like half a decade. That's crazy. Ooh. What remains of Hiyoko? Yeah, because the thing is, one of the things that I didn't mention when I was summarizing what goes on in this route is that after Hiyoko is essentially killed and her body is just, the body parts are spread all around the school, is that Shu decides to put Hiyoko's brain on this like scarecrow thing that is following them around. But the thing is, they don't know that that's Hiyoko at all, and Ryota gets scared by it and he uses a taser on it. And then Shu is like, by the way, that was Hiyoko, eh? You just tased her, so like, now she's actually dead. Like, she's not gonna get back up. He's like, oh. So he stays behind with the scarecrow thing. And, you know, having, like, essentially just murdered his best friend, like, twice. And then being told, like, oh, yeah, I just made your wish come true. Yeah, he kind of just, like, has a mental breakdown. He kind of goes through it. He goes through it. And he stays behind with, essentially, the broken down scarecrow, which is Hiyoko. But, yeah. How bad can this guy get? Why is it FNAF now? Oh, this is RoboCop level of dark. Yeah. As I mentioned, this is... It's just how crazy this game gets. It's just like, what? Now you understand why this was mine. This is why... Now you understand why these images were there when I first read that. I was like, what is going on with this game? Oh my god. Now you understand. Honestly, Ryota earned that mental breakdown by that point. I feel like he earned it. He's allowed to have that because... What even, man? I've never seen past the regular route, so it's so confusing concern. But, you know, that's how the game ends. Now we talk about Holiday Star. This one's a little bit more silly, for the most part. It doesn't get as dark as the main game. It doesn't get near as dark as the main game. It's nowhere near the levels of darkness as the main game. So we get to talk about Christmas! Yay! For the most part, I mean, I wouldn't say it gets as dark as the main game. It just gets sad. It just gets sad at one point. So... But yeah, we're talking about Christmas. Oh my god, it's Christmas! Wow, it's so nice. Look, it's Christmas. So this is an alternate timeline where I guess it's not as depressing as the main game. There's 4 episodes in the DLC, the Holiday Star DLC. We get to be sad too. This, I'm not really gonna cover the short episodes for the radio program. So short episodes are like, there's like a Valentine's Day thing. There's like a shrine thing. It's mostly just like little like short episode like, oh wow, cute, to cover the darkness of what even happened in the first game. But yeah, there's also it has more of a slice of life focus too. Where do they have a tank? Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, here's the little bird I added. This one was Doki Doki before Doki Doki. I would say this one was like the subversion of expectations before Doki Doki. But I feel most people didn't get to the subversion of expectations. Because I feel like this game is way more WoW than Doki Doki is. But anyway, Christmas! Oh my god, it's Christmas! Oh, this is the Christmas Thieves Attack episode. Also, like the official merch of the MC is a check of me. Yeah, that's how she's represented. That's how they represent her because, like, she doesn't really have a canon design. It's Doki Doki. Nobody actually got to the dark part of the story. So, the whole premise of the Christmas Thieves Attack is that the Christmas decorations suddenly disappear from the school. And everyone has to, like, investigate what's going on. Why are they disappearing? Who took them? All that stuff. You know, silly stuff like that. It has definitely, like, a more slapstick vibe to it. Ignore the tank. So... MC and Yuya, Mr. 007 Bird, team up to investigate who is behind the disappearance of the Christmas decorations. And they decide that the best way to lure the thieves is by using Yuya's rich boy... Not Yuya's, Sakuya's rich boy Christmas tree that's at the mansion. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna take Sakuya's expensive Christmas tree and we're gonna use it as bait. And that way, we're gonna lure the thieves and we're gonna catch them. And so they decide to go with that plan. They're like, okay, we're gonna use Sakuya's expensive Christmas tree. If it gets stolen, then GG. But whatever. So they decide to lure it with the fancy Christmas tree over at Sakuya's house. Because, you know, Sakuya's rich. Probably he has good security and whatnot. Or so they thought. Until these guys roll into the mansion with a tank. It has a very slapstick vibe to it. About 10 minutes later, Chiaki talks about the verbs in that commercial. Like, they're like, oh yeah, Sakuya's house has like very high security, so surely they're not gonna be able to barge in. But they didn't expect these two to come with a tank. So they could have just barged into mansion with a tank, and they're like, oh no. So much for high security. I guess they don't have anti-tank security. So that happens. Guess they didn't account for the tank. They didn't really account for the tank. And these two little guys are Miru and Kaku. These little guys are obsessed with Christmas. They like taking all the Christmas decorations because it reminds them of happier times. These guys are actually a result of a science experiment. Originally, they were gonna be killed off, but Ryota's father decided to keep them. And that's why they're still alive. Because otherwise, they would have probably been eliminated. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that part. But at the end, you know, once they convince them to not use the tank and steal the Christmas tree, they get adopted by Shu. And I don't know if that's a good thing. But, you know, they get adopted. And they live at the school infirmary. And they decorate it with Christmas. They decorate it with Christmas. And that's how it ends. It's all happy, see? It doesn't sound good. Oh, God. Not Shu. Yeah, they get adopted by Shrew, and then they live at the infirmary and decorate it with Christmas stuff. I thought you said this wasn't a dark story. I mean, this one isn't as dark. It doesn't reach the levels of darkness that the main story reaches. I adopted by literally the worst person possible. But, you know, it's a happy ending, kinda, I would say. You know, not that bad. Yeah, we have this one. So, episode 2 is called Fallen Chronicles Absolute Zero. So, this episode, they kind of introduced this character. It's called Tori. Tori is like the scientist artist person that is obsessed in outshining. I wrote Isa Soma. That's just Shu's other name. I forgot to mention that. Shu originally was called Isa Soma. It was the name that he used when he worked alongside Ryotas's father. But once Ryotas's father died, he kind of like left and changed his name. So Tori doesn't know that he doesn't go by that name anymore, but essentially he's kind of like, oh, he's such a great scientist, I want to be a much better scientist and whatnot. And this random person that just gets introduced for this chapter essentially is like, oh, I'm gonna find a way to create like a cooler invention that will outshine him. And, you know, that's kind of going on. But meanwhile, while that plot is kind of going on, MC and the other birds are... It's MC, Ryota, and Angel, the Chuny bird. They're over at Comic Cat because Angel wants to sell his manga, the Absolute Zero manga he was making. But, unfortunately, it ain't going too well. Manga ain't selling too well at Comic Cat. And while, you know, they're trying to help him sell the manga over at Comic Cat, this guy, Tori, approaches the stand. And the thing is that this guy is trying to essentially get Angel, because Angel... Okay, so this episode's really weird. I don't even know how to explain it. So, Angel is like Chuny, but he's Chuny to a degree. If you know Chaos Head or Chaos Child or whatever, and how like their delusions affect the real world and whatever. So, Angel's kind of like that. So, Angel's like Chuniness is like so strong that essentially you can use it to like manipulate like the world around him. And Tori here is trying to use Angels as blood to like create a weapon of like mass destruction being fueled by like Angel's like Chuniness or whatever. It's like, it's really... it's really weird. It's like Chaos Head, yeah. Oh god. So yeah, he's trying to get Angels' blood so he can create a massive weapon of destruction that is fueled by delusions and God knows what. And he wants to use that weapon to destroy the school. So now they must, you know, they must prevent that from happening. And they have this over-the-top magical girl transformation that you can see here to stop that guy. The sleeping god has begun to dream. Why the maid outfit? It's because it's his magical girl transformation. So they can fight the guy. This is insane lore. This is from the DLC. But yeah, this is the what I mean with it being very over the top. Very cute magical girl design. I'm lost, but not lost. This episode's very confusing, so I don't blame you. Are they like fighting God? Not fighting God per se, just I guess a guy with a weapon fueled by delusions and yeah. Oh god, yeah, this episode's really weird. But to be fair, it's gonna get more surreal for me. Oh man. I'm reading the wiki at the same time as this was So why is it set in the year 2180? I have no clue. So, this is episode 3 and episode 4 are directly connected to each other. This is the day the night slept before. So this is part 1. So the episode kind of starts with a lunar eclipse going on, and it kind of like spirits everyone away to this weird, like, surreal land called the Holiday Star. So everyone gets spirited to the Holiday Star, and while they're in the Holiday Star, they start to like experience like very surreal visions of like going on a journey and whatnot. And over there, while they're at the Holiday Star, they encounter the king. This guy. He is the ruler of the Holiday Star. I love how that Titten depiction looks like it's a completely different franchise. Yeah. Enjoy his angel from Angel Beats. The title drop, yeah. But during this episode, you kinda hang out more with Nageki, and you find out more about Nageki's character. But is the king yellow? He is. So you kind of... It's a very surreal, kind of like more symbolic type of episode. Because this is like the point where you kind of see more about like Nageki's like struggle of like, oh, I could have... He's kind of like fueling his regrets of not being able to have like a normal life and like being able to like interact with all the other birds because of everything that happened. And yeah, it's very like sad and stuff. It's very like, it's a lot of like sad symbolism of like seeing all the what if and stuff like that. I'm glad we don't have an episode focused on Shu. God forbid we have an episode focused on him. God forbid. Ooh. But that's essentially kind of like what this episode is. I thought this one would be jolly. No, these ones are kind of like the more sad ones. The day the night slept before are kind of like the sadder ones, rather than the more jolly ones. I think the jolly ones were like the first 2, 3. These ones just get more sad, I would say. It just gets more sad from here. But yeah, then we get... Oh, ignore the fact that I still left this image. I forgot to change it. But yeah, these guys are not really involved in here. Ignore them. I could have sworn I changed the image, but I guess I didn't. Okay, so episode 4 is the day the night slept after. It's part 2 of essentially this arc. More tank. Those guys don't even show up in this one. Yeah, so while they are in the Holiday Star, they discover that the Holiday Star is dangerous. And the reason it's dangerous is because when you are... Oh god, I'm sorry for making the SAO reference, but if you die in the Holiday Star, you die in real life. The thing is, so when you are in the Holiday Star, like your soul is in the Holiday Star. But like your physical body, it's essentially gonna rot away while your soul is at the Holiday Star. The Hatoful boy for this game is crazy. Hi, Toppy. It is. It's a crazy game. It's a very crazy game. Why is it SAO? It's kind of like SAO in a way, yeah. Because like... Your soul is essentially like in the Holiday Star, but like your body is still like aging in the real world. So like your soul never comes back and your body just rots and whatnot. Existential dread, essentially, yeah. So they die either way if they're in the Holiday Star. Alright, I think that's enough Hatoful boy for Verbiva. Oh my god. So obviously knowing that information causes everyone to, you know, feel despair, and they start like, you know, freaking out and whatnot. But they discover that there's a way out. And that way is destroying the source of power of the Holiday Star, which is the lighthouse. But doing that means that you're destroying the king's own world. Because this is the only place where the king can exist. So if you destroy the Holiday Star, you destroy his home. And the king obviously doesn't want that. The king wants to protect the lighthouse because otherwise, you know, what would happen with him? There's a heavy focus on escapism in this particular episode, because there is the argument of like, oh, but I don't know if I really want to come back. The Holiday Star is pretty nice. I don't know if I want to go back to the real world and whatnot. Oh, they fight God again twice. Well, I guess you could consider the king kind of like, in a way, a god? I mean, the god of the Holiday Star, I guess. Well, Rip King, we can't have SAO again. It already went off the deep end. It just keeps diving deeper. It does. So, there's a lot of, like, symbolism of, like, destroying the Holiday Star means that you're confronting your own weaknesses, because the Holiday Star kind of like shields you away from those weaknesses, and as they try to get rid of the lighthouse, they have to essentially fight their own fears, because that's how the lighthouse protects itself. It shows you like your worst fears, so that way you won't be able to destroy it. So in order to finally be able to destroy the lighthouse, you have to confront your worst fears. And once the lighthouse is destroyed is when the illusion of the Holiday Star falls apart and everything is just a black hole. Everything is just a black hole. And they go into the black hole. And it's essentially supposed to be symbolism to like rebirth. And then they go back to the real world and everything is fine now. Yeah, I mean, you know... That's essentially kind of like the black hole. Yep, the black hole. Yeah, that's kind of like what happens in this piece of media DLC. I mean, considering like what we talked about in the main game, I guess I don't know if this is like less, you know, less crazy or more than what we already mentioned of the main game. Happy ending? It's a happy ending because by destroying the Holiday Star, they confronted their fears and they did not go for like an escapism solution of staying in the Holiday Star. So by entering the black hole, you accept rebirth of those fears and you confront them and you are brought back to the real world, essentially. Help! That's essentially what it is. Chiaki, unironically, I've had my jaw drop for like the past 2 hours because of wow, this is big. Yeah. My brain hurts. So basically, defeat God and destroy the world to be reincarnated into the real world. So the Holiday Star is supposed to be an ideal kind of world that people don't want to leave. Because that's the way King created the Holiday Star. Because King wanted a world that wouldn't really change. It would always remain in its perfect state. Because he was afraid of essentially things changing, time moving, things not being the same. So the Holiday Star is kind of like a world that doesn't really change. It's always in a perfect state. I assume everyone involved in this wacky black hole hijinks came out with irreparable mental scars. Probably. If there was another game after this, that would probably be the case, but there isn't. Ooh, if there was, you know, maybe, but there isn't, so... Plus, my brain hurts. My brain cells isn't competing this boss. Sounds like Narnia. But yeah, that was Holiday Star. So very briefly, there is a webcomic called Hatoful Kareshi. So this is a webcomic. Each chapter is kind of focused on a different character. This has its own timeline, by the way. So some events that are referenced in here are not exactly the same as the game. So it's a little bit different in that regard. Like, people say it's not necessarily a retelling because it's not a one-to-one with what happens in the game. So I guess a reimagining of the events in the game in the way. So much media? Oh, there's even the drama CDs, but I didn't include those here because I didn't listen to them. I didn't listen to them. Additionally, they also had an appearance in a gacha game, but the gacha game shut down in like 2018, so I also couldn't find too much info on that. Never heard of the webcomic. Is it the original piece? This is the original art of it, yeah. They have drama CDs? They do. Yeah, does the rabbit hole keep going deeper? I don't know if we can climb out. You could say it's an AU, kinda. Kind of, but also, people don't really consider it an AU. What a gacha game. I don't know if I can find the name of it. Let me see if I can find the name of it. I didn't realize there's so much media of this game. It goes quite deep. Apparently there was another visual novel in the works for this. It was gonna be made in Unity. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a one-to-one visual novel or if it was gonna be a different type of game following this story. But it's currently stuck in development hell. And there hasn't been news about it. Pre-code? I think it's pre-code. I don't know if it's pre-code, though. Oh, boyfriend. Gotcha. I'm trying to find out what the gacha was. Heaven Strike Rivals. Is that the name of the gacha? I don't know what this one was. I don't know if they're still live working on anything. Oh, yeah, there it is. Heaven Strike Rivals was the gacha. Free-to-play social tactical RPG for mobile devices. Yeah, this had gacha mechanics too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the game shut down in 2018, so the game's not around anymore. Oh, God. Yeah, I found it. It's called Heaven Strike Rivals, and they gave Yuya Sniper in his model. Not gonna lie, I never heard of it before. Yeah, I don't know how popular it was, to be fair. But yeah, the game has been shut down since 2018, so I don't know if there's even like footage of that game anywhere. But yep, there was supposedly another game in the works. It was gonna be made in Unity. There hasn't really been any news on it, just because the developer went on to make Murder by Numbers, and after Murder by Numbers was released, I don't think they said anything else. So yeah, what can even compete with Hatoful Boyfriend when it comes to committing to the bit? It only lasted 3 years. Yeah, it only lasted 3 years, so wasn't really too much to it. But okay, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my silly little deep dive. This wacky game. I can't believe the gacha wasn't successful when they had such a powerhouse like Hatoful Boyfriend to collab with. I didn't hear they were shut down. Yeah, that game, Heaven Strike Rivals was shut down in 2018. Absolute cinema. This really was an adventure. Thanks for inviting us. Yeah, were you mentally scarred by Hatoful Boyfriend? I was the first time I played it. And going through like some of the information, because I had forgotten a lot about this game. But in order to make this deep dive, I had to kind of like re-remember some of the things that happened in this game. And I had to like reread it, and I was like, oh my god, that happened! I had completely forgotten about that. I think my mind blocked it. So I had to re-remember a lot of the things that happened in this game. Do you know all of this prior to researching the game? I essentially had to do a bit of extra research to remember some of the things, because I played this a while ago. I was prepared for absolute insanity, and even then I'm walking away in complete disbelief. I did tell you guys. I did tell you. Amazing tech talk. I told you. I told you it was just gonna get wilder from here. I only remembered a few things from the regular route, so hearing everything past the hateful boyfriend route is insane. I was like, they don't even know half of it. They don't even know half of the things that happen in this game. Oh god. Like, I remembered like watching the Let's Plays and was like, oh, silly game. And it wasn't until like years later that I was like, you know what? I'm curious. What could be the worst thing that could happen? And then I played it and was like, what even is going on in this game? Nothing's really selling your commitment to the presentation. Hey, I mean, if I was already gonna commit to the bit... Well, you got to the part with the scarecrow with the brain of the MC attached to it. I feel like I learned some sort of forbidden knowledge. Wanna see the design? I didn't include the picture of that, to be fair. There is a picture of it. There's actually a sprite of it. Okay, let me get her image. Okay. I didn't get a picture of what she looks like. Yes, please. How does it look like? Oh god, there's someone that actually cosplayed it. That's messed up. Can I get a good picture of this? Okay, I think I saved the image. They cosplayed it? I just saw a picture of someone cosplaying it, and I was like, I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about someone cosplaying that. Oh, it's tiny. I'm gonna need to make it bigger. There you go. Oh, I can tell. There you go. That's how it looks like. Oh, yes, please. How does it look? What is that? That's Labor 9. It has a name. Oh, this talks a bird takes a one fried chicken. Oh, maybe no. Oh god, it just reminded me of something. But thank you for the tip. I didn't even mention some of the bad endings in this game. I kind of like didn't talk about the bad endings. Is that the kid from Angels of Death? No, this is what Hiyoko looks like in the Hurtful Boyfriend route when they put her brain into the scarecrow thing. Bad endings? Yeah. I didn't talk about, I didn't even talk about some of the bad endings. You gonna cook like fried chicken in one or what? No. When you have a bad ending, how bad did they get? So... I blocked this memory and it got triggered when I read that. No, because I got so... I literally was flabbergasted when I got that ending. I could not compute. Because like I put 2 and 2 together and was like, no! So this was in, I believe it's Yuya. Yeah, it's Mr. 007. So in one of the bad endings, I believe there's only one bad ending. So since he's a spy and he's trying to investigate Shu because Shu is from the Hawk Party and he's essentially trying to investigate what he's doing at the school and whatnot. So in one of the bad endings, he gets discovered. And he gets turned into... I believe it's either Christmas or New Year. I don't remember. But essentially, you get something at your door. And it's like... so Yuya essentially disappears, and you're like, oh, I haven't heard from him in a while. And like, I think it's either Christmas or New Year's. You hear a knock at your door, and then like you get like a Christmas rose with like it's like neatly wrapped as like a present, and like essentially you get it, and it's like, oh, that's very nice of them for them to give this to me. And then I remember putting two and two together and was like, no, don't tell me that's who I think it is. And then they actually make the implication that it is who I think it is. And I remember my brain could not compute anymore at that point. I was like, no. Yeah, he gets turned into like a chicken roast, and then you eat him, and I could not. I could not. My brain was just like, no. Oh. Was it tasty though? I think I remember she says like, oh, that was so good. And I'm like, I had a mental breakdown. I was like, that's messed up. Oh, God. Oh. Was it tasty? I think she actually does mention that it was tasty. And I was like, ah. Oh, my God. I was speechless when that happened. Words could not describe. I was like, it's so messed up, and being tasty makes it so much worse. My brain just could not. Oh, God. Chiaki screaming like the Inception gift watching the MC of the Christmas Rose. Yeah, because I realized what it was when I put two and two together, and I was like, no. No. Ooh. Does it just cut to a bad end after that? Essentially, you get like the bad end card after that, but like, it's like the build-up of it that I was like... Mind you, this is before you play... I played this before I played Shoes Route, so I didn't know how bad I got until that point. I was like, my brain just could not compute what was going on. The visceral reaction is so real. Because I think Shoes Red was the last one I played.
Let the hacking begin.
There goes my appetite. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You mentioning the fried chicken triggered that memory, and I was like, fried chicken, no. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the tip, though. Oh, God. Actually, insane. This release is so RBN. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. The fact you hadn't seen Shoes Route must have hit harder. Yeah, because I didn't know how bad it got. Are all the bad endings that bad? I think it depends. I think some of them are more sad. I think Sakuya's is sad. Some of them are sad. Others are messed up. Shoes is always messed up. Even the happy one is messed up. He's just messed up. But... I think Sakuya's was just sad. Yuya's was that. I did not emotionally recover from that. So my brain just chose to forget. Until I started talking about this game again. I don't remember Nagaki's. I think that was probably just sad too. I feel most of them are just sad. Oh, wow, this game can go from 0 to 100. Oh, God. Choose to forget until the mention of fried chicken. Yeah, because we were talking about this game, and then I remember that in my brain. Oh my God. Oh no. I was reminded of that information that I did not want it to remember. Was not expecting the game would be the one to give you traumatic amnesia. You know, the contrast between the new listening slide and the abomination in the corner is very striking. I mean, I was debating whether I was gonna put this image somewhere, but I decided not to. I decided to spare you from it until you asked about it. The fact that it was your favorite of the guys too could not have helped. No, it did not help. I was like, I can't take this game anymore. But I wanted to see the end, so I played all the routes even after being subjected to that. Because I wanted to see how it ended. And then Hurtful Boyfriend happened, and I was like, my god. Oh god. That thing is straight up an enemy from FNAF and not from this game. It is from this game. Oh god, it's a game. It's a game. I think this is why most people just did Oko-sans around and were like, haha, pigeon game. They didn't know the things that you see in this game. See, even Toffee knew. Even Toffee knew that this was a crazy game. This is a game of all time. Oh god. But is it by any chance this game one of your first games with really messed up dark stories? Not really, no. I think it's more the fact of like the premise of this game. Like if a game is dark from the beginning, you kind of just expect it to be dark, you know what I mean? But this was like a very like haha silly pigeon game, and then the game happens. So it's more the subversion of expectations, because this game released in a time when like that wasn't really very common, I feel. Because this is before Doki Doki kind of like made it a norm. Horror games disguised as silly dating sim. Yeah. The art is so different from the general art of the game. Yeah. Yeah, the Oko-san route really did hide the horrors of this game behind a silly little mask. RPG Maker's about that. I played RPG Maker games, but RPG Maker games, a lot of them don't really try to hide behind like a cutesy aesthetic. Or if they do, they drop it really quickly. I feel like with RPG Maker games is different. I played a good amount of RPG Maker games, and like most of them drop it really quickly. Hatoful Boyfriend makes you work for it. For better or for worse. Oh god. The subversion of expectations this hard really does hit very hard. This is nothing like Doki Doki. Doki Doki drops a mask super early in comparison with this game. Yeah, they really do get to hide a ton of insanely messed up stuff behind a haha silly bird dating game. If these weren't birds, this game would be considered like Saya no Uta levels of messed up. Yeah. Yeah, this was a few years before that kind of thing even became popular. They make you work for your trauma. Yeah, essentially. It's crazy to think so many people played this game and probably have no idea about any of this. Considering this game actually has so many endings for this sad second playthrough. Because Hurtful Boyfriend, you don't get it until you beat essentially every route, so you could essentially just play a route and never know about the darker parts of this game. RPG Maker games make it very obvious what they're going to be about. Well, Hatoful makes you do like 8 routes before you get to that. This is your reward for playing this far. And I'm like, oh. Awesome. Oh, God. Now this sort of theme in the games is kind of uncommon. This really feels like a Nitro Plus kind of game. I'm guessing like 90% of people who have played this have no clue about all the Hurtful Boyfriend stuff, which is crazy considering how much it changes everything. It recontextualizes everything. Thanks for playing. Time to suffer. It's like, oh, you got this far. I guess you're ready. You're not ready. You're not ready for the things that this game subjects you to. Oh god, it's a game of all time, but happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Have your lore of this silly pigeon dating. Oh, Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Oh god. Oh man, what a game. What a piece of media. I feel like since you already have the clear gimmick, you're not expecting to get hit with the absolute curveball of a twist. Essentially, yeah. Because usually for a lot of like subvert your expectations type of games, they put it early. Like Doki Doki does it early. A lot of games do it early, but this one they actually made you work for it. Like you think you're already like, oh, I clear the game. I'm out of the, you know, if anything weird was gonna happen, it didn't happen. But no, you don't know half of it.
Thank you for the tip.
Thanks, Chiaki. I always wanted mental trauma for Valentine's. No, not like this. Oh, thank you for the tip, Atto. I feel partially it's because of the dating sim point aspect. It's why I initially dropped it, because it was intimidating. Well, yeah, it's supposed to like be like, oh, ha ha ha, silly dating sim, hee hee ha ha. Such a wonderful Valentine's Day gift. You've given us trauma. I wasn't expecting it to try to reach corpse party levels, but it did a good job trying. Especially for a dating game, yeah. Good job on finding love. And now the real story. And now here's where the real plot comes in. Doki Doki drops hints as early as the first like 30 minutes. Well, this makes sure you're nice and comfy before going for it. They're like, okay, you think you've cleared it? You don't even know half of it. Oh my god. Thanks for the trauma, boys. I'll definitely be up all night right now. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Of this, piece of media. I can definitely say this will be a Valentine's Day I'm never going to forget. Oh. Hi. This was a last minute idea. For better or for worse. I think I remember some RPG Maker games that took a while until they dropped the mask, but not nearly this long. There is some, but usually it's still like not near this level to like drop the mask. I'm not sure how you'll one up this next year was. Wada no Hara. I think Wada no Hara shows signs, doesn't it? Really well executed for being a last minute thing. Definitely for better. This was hilarious. I'm not sure how you one up this. Thanks for that wonderful question mark, Valentine's. I definitely won't be able to ever forget this. I mean, you asked for a deep dive. I gave you a deep dive for better or for worse. You asked for a deep dive and I provided the deep dive. If I had to sit through the past couple of days re-remembering information that I had forgotten about this game, now I'm passing this information to you guys. If it showed signs, I didn't catch them in time. It was an amazing last minute idea. I do not see many VTubers spend time to dedicate a presentation really anymore on enriching us with an arrangement of emotions and memories. Don't forget the little intro to even get the background, the music of the game, and even do a similar actually, I guess I can show you what the original like cards for the game are like. If you haven't seen how they look like. So I essentially replicated the format of how they do like character cards for this game when they introduce the characters. Ugh, whoopee. Whoopee momento. I think I can still show it in OBS though. You say so, but I really want to go and read this novel. Oh god. It's a piece of media. Yeah, this is how the cards look like. The intro was literally perfect. I was not prepared for the actual cat. The actual cat Chiaki. I wanted to replicate it, so for the realism. Ooh. This is how they have like the little character introductions. Well, mine is too big. Res. So I tried replicating it. Oh. There you go. Oh wow, you made it perfectly. I tried to make it as close as I could to the actual thing. Oh, your intro was really perfect. You replicated perfectly. Literally a 1-2-1. Oh. Yeah, there it is. We need a mod to include Chiaki in the game. Imagine. That'd be crazy. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these pictures. There you go. So yeah, this is how the cards look in the game. It really is a 1-2-1. That intro did get me hooked. I like the fact you also had to get a blue cat for this. I mean, I'm blue cat. I'm blue cat. It had to be, you know, had to be accurate. Had to be accurate. Had to make it an accurate representation. You're indeed blue. Not just that, the fact you photoshopped it, I'll use the accessories too. I just didn't photoshop the hair clip because I couldn't get it to work with this cat. That's why it doesn't have the hair clip. It only has my fish hair clips and my bow. Blue, dabba dee dabba da. So Star, thank you so much for the super. Thank you. But yeah, hope you like my silly little presentation for today. I guess it's not like the normal like Valentine's Day type of stream. Not a very standard Valentine's Day type stream. But I thought it could be at least a silly idea for this day. Because like I was struggling to think of things to do for Valentine's. Oh god, it was so good. Easily one of the best presentations you've done. I was laughing so hard the whole time. Don't worry, boss. It was very Chiaki coded. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the stream, boss. I'm glad you guys liked it. These wings are glitching a lot. I love getting to learn way more about Hatoful boyfriend than I could have ever expected today. It really was such a funny experience, and my jaw still dropped. It was a nice contrast to all the lovey-dovey stuff Shona did. The presentation was great. Honestly, not gonna lie, this is my favorite Valentine's stream you've done. I really don't know how you're gonna top this one. Your info did make my headache go away. We still get to spend Valentine's Day with you, boss. What do you mean? I mean, I guess it's because it's not like a more standard like VTuber Valentine's Day stream. So I was like, it's not gonna be like a more traditional type of stream. But I thought it could be kind of like a silly idea when I was trying to brainstorm what to do. I'm currently playing through Chaos Head, so that was a nice change of pace. Not that it has the same trauma. That's where the Chaos Head reference came in. I never played Chaos Head, I only watched the anime, and it gave me a headache. Oh, thanks for the stream, Chiaki. You're awesome. It was infinitely better than normal Valentine's Day stream. More memorable. But it's memorable because it's pure Chiaki core. It might not be the standard VTuber Valentine's Day stuff, but honestly, I appreciate the fact you wanted to do something more unique, and it turned out really well. I had a blast. Aw, thank you. What do you mean? This game is clearly the most lovey-dovey thing ever, after all. What's more lovey-dovey than biological warfare, politics, and dismembered bodies? But it's a silly pigeon dating sim. Yeah, you know, just think of the funny pigeons. It's okay not going the standard with you. It's always the bestest of days. Besides, you come up with really good ideas. Oh god. Just think of the funny, silly pigeons. And that's it. Just the funny, silly pigeons. Funny, scary pigeons. Chiaki, I can never see this a silly pigeon game ever again. If it's to the theme of Yandere Chiaki. Oh god. I was already in a karaoke relay for Valentine's, so I was like, I can't really do like a Valentine's karaoke because I already had like a previous karaoke the day prior, so I needed to do something else. And I was like, I already made chocolates last year, so I need to think of something else. And it came to me. I was like, Hatoful Boyfriend is like a dating sim, and it was. I remember a lot of people have heard about it because of how weird it was, or how like whimsical or bizarre. So I was like, what if I make a deep dive? How much do people actually know about this game? And that's when the idea came to me. And I even mentioned like, oh, I don't know if you guys are gonna like this idea. And then I just put it on the schedule. I was like, you know what? We ball. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna ball. I'll never look at pigeons the same way. How Chiaki steals your heart with shock and awe. Yeah, it would definitely feel a bit odd for you to double up on karaoke, and this was 1000% a much more interesting idea. So I gained so much more knowledge. I certainly learned a bunch of things today. Oh god. It's maybe not the lovey-dovey stuff, but we're ready lovey-dovey with you anyways. So like, some things aren't necessary. I came into this not knowing anything about Hatoful Boyfriend, and I left wishing I don't know anything about Hatoful Boyfriend. Oh god. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk today. I'm so glad you decided to just go for it, since this was such a funny thing to see on the schedule, not realizing the horrors that awaited us. I was like, do they know? Do they know? Oh man. What a game. It's a game of all time. I was actually struggling to find information about the Hurtful Boyfriend route because for some reason there wasn't a lot of info on it on the wiki. So I contemplated speedrunning the game last night and trying to get to the Hurtful Boyfriend route to get more information, because I remember bits and pieces, but I think my brain blocked a lot of it out of the shock. So I had to do quite a bit of research to like re-remember a lot of things that happened in that route, and kind of like rereading everything, I was like, oh no. Oh no, the memories are coming back. So Hurtful Boyfriend is that unknown? There's not too much info. The wiki has it like on very, very like vague details. I feel like the wiki is particularly vague about it. You were gonna speedrun the whole game last night for this? Yeah, I was gonna speedrun it. Oh god. With how hidden it is, I'm not surprised it's not super well documented. Yeah. Like the other routes are more documented than Hurtful Boyfriend is. So I did have to do a fair amount of research to like re-remember stuff about it. But wow, what a crazy route it is. You probably kept it super vague on the wiki intentionally to maximize the trauma that you players experience, to actually have you discover it yourself. Is there not a dedicated community for Hatoful boyfriend? There is a wiki, and the wiki does have like a good amount of information, but it is missing a good amount of things as well. I can see how to speedrun everything considering you did have to do all the routes. Thank you for committing to the vid, Aki, for delivering us this deep dive. Thank you for listening to my silly deep dive on Valentine's Day. Even if, you know, it might not have been the most, lovey-dovey thing for the occasion. But, you know, it's still romance adjacent, I think. It's a romance adjacent game, so I feel like it kind of fits. There's probably a random Discord out there with a ton of info on the games there. Almost always is. Maybe. Maybe so, maybe so. I feel like there probably has to be. Somewhere. Somewhere out there. This was better than the lovey-doveys. This will literally always be ingrained on my mind. What do you mean, boss? It's like going to the movies on Valentine's. Is it? Thank you for making a Hatoful boyfriend deep dive, a core memory for me. Even if I'm not sure whether or not I should be grateful. What's more romantic than sharing a crazy traumatic experience? There's even a study about it, is it? If it exists on the internet, there is a Japanese forum about it. I mean, maybe if you look it up in Japanese, you'll probably find more info. Probably so. Especially because the game is Japanese, so... Probably? You'll probably find more info like that. But at least the English wiki didn't... It was missing a fair amount of stuff. Especially about that route in particular. Like I said, Aki, I really love you and appreciate you. Nothing wrong with just spending silly time with you. I'm really curious about how the Japanese fandom is about the hurtful version now. I wonder. I wonder. Because this game definitely seemed at least a fair bigger in Japan. From what I could see. From what I could observe. I mean, it has drama CDs. It has drama CDs that are actually on YouTube. Someone actually uploaded them on YouTube, and they do have, they did actually put subtitles on them. So, there's a hero without a cape out there. Is it that popular in Japan? I mean, popular enough to get drama CDs, I would say. But I don't know, like, on the scale of popularity, how high that would be. So it's a little bit hard to tell how popular it is. The hero that no one wanted. What do you mean, the hero that no one wanted? You don't want to listen to the drama CDs? Is that what I'm hearing? Not all heroes wear capes, some wear hats. I mean, to be fair, I feel like drama CDs don't get translated a lot. After today, absolutely not. What? Are you not glad that you have this piece of information now? It is kind of funny how I constantly see people go back to play Doki Doki because of its rep, but with this game, since it's so hidden, I don't think I've seen anyone go back to this. Yeah, it's much more hidden, so I feel like most people don't know about it. Unless you actually were like, okay, I want to play the entirety of this game. And then you found out about it. But I feel most people didn't really do that, so they didn't really know about it. So it's more well-known for people to just, I guess if they want a visual novel that subverts expectations, to pick Doki Doki. Obviously these are very Japanese things, so not many get imported. Yeah. That's true, yeah. Let me put it this way, boss. I think today's stream has irreparably changed my life. In what way? In what way? In a good way or a bad way? for me, I'm glad having this information. Now I want to dig deeper into the Hatoful iceberg. I'm pretty sure someone made an iceberg out there. Yes. Did this come out after Doki? It was before. This was before Doki Doki. Because Doki Doki released in 2017. Hatoful was before that. So this was before Doki. This was 2011, yeah. Well, the Steam version, 2014, but the first version, 2011. Yeah, 2014 for PC. So 2014 was the Steam version. 2011 is like a demo. It was a Japanese demo. For 2011, and then July 2011. Original version, Japan. Demo, full original release, October 30, 2011. International release, which is the remake, was September 4th, 2014. So, the version that people played on YouTube Let's Plays, I'm pretty sure that's the 2014 version. Like 7 years before. Like, yeah. Okay, I won't lie, I have personal vendetta against drama CDs because what do you mean I need to track down drama CD? Because there was an event they referenced constantly in Cold Steel in a drama CD. Oh. You can only know that information if you listen to the drama CD. Yeah, Hatoful released way before Doki. I think Xmas released like 2 or 3 years after. Holiday Star was later, yeah. That's why I remember it being an older. I remember people talking about the demo all the way back in like 2012. Yeah, because the full version, but not translated, was 2011. And then like the Steam version that people played was 2014. So quite a while before Doki Doki, yeah. Has it really been that long? It has. This is why when people say like, oh yeah, Doki Doki was like the one who subverted expectations with visual novels, I'm like, they don't even know. This was not like This was not it. It was not. I feel like it wasn't Doki Doki. Doki Doki just made it mainstream to do it. 2012. About a Faded Dust, realizing that was 14 years ago. They just didn't know that this game did it before that. Quite a game. Do not recite the ancient words to me. I was there when they were written. It was so much before Doki Doki during a time where it wasn't the main thing. It wasn't a thing, and most people didn't do full playthroughs of all the end routes like this on Let's Play, so it was a bit more hidden. Yeah. And I reveal Hatoful as being one of the few English BNs out there. It was one of the first I played. I don't remember which one was the first I played. It's strange because I think most Doki Doki fans would love Hatoful. Maybe the realistic birds keep people from playing it. I think so. But that's why they give you the option to trigger the anime portraits. So if you don't want to look at the hyper-realistic birds, you get the anime boys instead. But, you know, I think it might be the photorealistic birds that maybe chase people away. The birds kept a lot of people from playing it outside of the joke group with Oko-san. Yeah. Arguably mainstream in the West because visual novels has been subverting expectations since the dawn of visual novel and stuff like Higurashi predates it by more than a decade. Well, yeah, in the West. I mean, there's like a bunch of like Japanese visual novels that probably have done it before Hatoful. But like on the west side of things, I would say Hatoful was the first one. Because obviously there's others that have done it way before Hatoful that are more well known. Higurashi, probably one of them as well. But yeah, arguably this is on the west side of things. Because on the Japanese side, I'm pretty sure there's way before Hatoful. I was thinking about Doki. Yeah, honestly, I think the game being seen more as a meme meant most people didn't get to see the real twist of the game because they just had a silly parody game. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think it was meant to, like, people take it as, like, oh, a silly parody game until, like, they got in deep to what it really was. I'll be honest with Oko-san's route and just how weird the idea was. I was a Hatoful hater, but I actually think I really like the concept of the game now. To be fair, Oko-san's route really kind of just is the joke route, and I feel it's the route most people saw. Hatoful just sounds like a pot of crazy. It's a crazy premise, but in a way it works. Like, it's surreal in the sense of, like, how do you come up with this? But, like, I can see it working, but it's just, like... my brain can't comprehend how you got to this idea. But to be fair, there's a lot of visual novels that are kind of just insane. So, like... it's not like Hatoful is the last visual novel to be insane. Yeah, visual novels were in as mainstream before Hatoful and Doki Doki, and even in the anime sphere, most people don't interact with the VN side of things. Yeah. Imagine those which did play all the routes. Yeah, I think the main issue is that it's too hidden behind having so many routes, which makes going for the true story too unlikely. I guess so. In a way. But it kind of, in a way, I can kind of see it of like, oh yeah, you will never really get there unless you play everything, but... it's the piecing together information that kind of, I guess, makes more sense as to why it's at the end. Hatoful boyfriend invented insanity. I think it's more because it's such an outlandish concept. With, like, you look at the presentation and you're like, nah. Actually, let me see if I find that image. If I can find that image that I saw before. Because I feel like... it's the perfect way to represent it. Where did I save that image? I don't know if I saved it. Where is it? Where is it? I hope I saved it. I don't know if I saved it. I have no idea if I saved this image. Ooh. Yeah, they do drop little hints here and there, mentioning the dope politics and the experiments and all the mystery behind the dead character. They do drop hints, but I feel like they're easy to miss. Where is... I need to find the image. I feel like this image is like the perfect description. But I don't remember where... did I save the image? I might have just like... I might have not saved it. I'm trying to find it because I know I saw it on the Steam community tab. But for some reason I can't find it. No. Close. I accidentally click on the... open game. No. Close. Yeah, the hints might be a bit too subtle since I don't think almost anyone picked up on it. No. I feel this weekend is more of the kind which content spreads with words, like somebody which is streaming wouldn't have a clue of the rest of the game. Isn't that just any game? The game is calling you. I accidentally opened it because I was trying to look on the community tab for that image that I saw. But I don't know where it is. I can't find it. I can't find it. Accidentally booted up the game. I did because I had to I installed it last night because I couldn't find the information I told you guys about. And I was like, should I just speedrun it? Should I just speedrun till I get to the hurtful boyfriend route so I can get a bit more information on what to tell you guys? But no, I ended up finding a place where I could get a little bit more information. Nah, I mean that. Everyone would do just when wouldn't be over, but for the rest, only the most dedicated would know and spread the word around. I mean, that's just with most visual novels, though. People don't tend to fully stream the end, so... I feel like that's just the case for most visual novels. People would play like 1 or 2 routes and then just call it. Is it the what I played versus expected? Yeah, it is that one, but I don't know where it went. I saw the image of it before. I don't know where it went. I was trying to find it. Where did I put it? Oh, I think I found it. The instant require patience. They also require reading, which a lot of people don't like to do. That's a... Oh. My wings become like that. They're dark wings now. I don't know what I pressed. Dark Angel. I pressed something, but I'm not sure what I pressed. She's a Dark Angel now. I got dark wings now. My dark wings. This. This image. What I played, what I expected, what I got. There's the 007. Yuya. That's essentially it. Even as Dark Angel. That's essentially it. Not the James Bond and pudding Jesus. Oh god. The peak meme. Yeah, this was the image I was looking for. I feel like that's a very accurate representation of like the game. Why Sephiroth versus Cloud? Because of the war. That's why. Absolute cinema. The cave-in meme, but pudding? Yeah. It's essentially because of that. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. But yeah, so thoughts? So what do you think after this presentation of all time? Thoughts on this presentation of all time? What do you think? Like the dark wings, I triggered them by accident and I don't know how to fix them. I didn't really have time to like adjust a lot of the wings. The wings were a last minute addition. That's why the physics go kind of crazy. Parece meme, pero es anécdota. I think I don't want to think anymore. What? Thoughts? I have none. My mind is a black hole of suffering and confusion. But I wanted to know your thoughts about it. I wanted to know your thoughts about it after putting this entire thing together. I feel like it's important. So you did super well with the presentation. Well researched, lots of pigeons, and just peak cinema. KFC for dinner? No, no KFC for dinner. No more. No more. Not like this. Not like this. Fried chicken. Not the fried chicken. Oh man. Unironically though, it was really fun. You did extremely well putting this together. It really was such an insane experience, and I'm so glad you went with another one of your silly ideas. Thoughts? Thank you, Bus. My thoughts are we should do this more often, but I know this would make it less special. It would make it less special. I enjoyed the presentation. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk as I talk about this experience, this game. This game of all time. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. I need to stretch. Quail egg? Why are you guys talking about eating eggs? Why do you want to eat eggs? It was so much fun, boss. Everything about it was peak. The intro, the presentation. Oh, the memes. I had so much fun tonight. Thank you for putting this together for us. Thank you for listening to it. Even if I had second thoughts while I was like making it, whether I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a fun thing for the occasion, but I was hoping you guys would like it. Okay, but now we need presentations on more weird games you find that just so happen to connect to a holiday. That just so happen to connect to a holiday. Thanks for the hard work, boss. Your presentation skills are as good as ever. Thank you, thank you. After today, I don't think I can eat anything bird-related. Hearing about that bad ending got me a bit hungry. Quite mysterious, no! It was a fun stream. Didn't know birds can be so intense. It was very educational. It was really fun spending Valentine's with my favorite Oshis. My favorite of Oshis and sweetest girl in the universe. Thank you for putting this together. Aw, thank you. Nah, it was totes fun. Yeah, crazy and traumatic, but that's where the fun comes from. Crazy and traumatic. This is a sign, boss. Trust your gut and your ideas. Trust me, it was really fun, and I can tell you put in a lot of effort into it. I'm really glad you always dedicate to the bit so much, since it was really funny and more interesting than a normal idea. Dedicating to the bit. From hunting down the BGM. Trying to figure out how to do the sound effect. Finding the sound effect and getting jump scared by it. Because I had to go to this random website. I was trying to look on like a Hatoful boyfriend sound effect. And then it took me to this random website that was only in Japanese. And I was like, oh, I can't. I don't know what it says here. And then I just clicked the play button. And it just played the sound effect at max volume. And it jump scared me. And I was like, well, I found the sound. Getting the sound effect. Finding the background. Because that background is actually a background from the game. So getting the background. Making the presentation card. Seriously, it was so much fun. Like I said before, that was easily my favorite of all the Valentine's streams you've done. Way better than all the generic Valentine's stream ideas most people go with. Aw, thank you. If I had a little bit more time, I probably would have tried to do like the little like intro screen where you kind of like input your name. But I didn't really have time since this was a very last minute idea. So I did as much as I could with the time that I had. Because I kind of wanted to kind of do the intro of the game to make it a little bit more immersive. I just know you're gonna bring out your realistic cat one day to mess with us. Just gonna bring in the... Where is she? Done, 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 done. I need to... Where did I put her? Oh, I took her too far. No! I made her walk away too far. I can't bring her back. Oh no. I'm gonna have to reset her. I put her too far away. I mean, I guess I could still do this though. I can do that. There you go. Oh Oh god. She already left the school for the day. Hold on, I'm bringing her back. Wah. There you go. Hello. She appears, I return. The hyper-realistic Chiaki. Hi. Hello. Chiaki intro jump scare? Yeah, my intro card. There she is. I am here. Do 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 do. There you go. The realistic fish clips. Hi. This creature will be in my nightmares now. What do you mean? This Chiaki, but you forget to turn off your RTX. I'm Vika. Yes. Vika is me. More scary than real boss? What is that supposed to mean, huh? What is that supposed to mean? It's like... Hi. But yeah... I thought the ribbon was some kind of futuristic spy camera. No. No, it wasn't. I don't know what made you have that idea. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. What is better, West Hat, or else this Chiaki would knock your glass of water off the table. I'll appear, I'll like do, and then bam! Ho. I'll just appear, I'll just walk up to your table and just like knock down the glass and just walk away. Oh god. I don't know why this loop is not like fully looping. Oh. Hey, I was drinking that. Knock the water off my desk and I don't get treats for a whole 3 hours? 3 hours? So mean. If that happened, it'll make a mess. What do you mean? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What a menace. Wait, hold on. I need to... Can I find... trying to find something. Oh. You know, since you did listen to my presentation... can I find... Okay, I think this one will work. Here you go. To show that I can actually give, like, a normal Valentine's Day present. And I don't just give, like, trauma presentations, I guess. Here you go. I don't know where it's saved. Where did it saved? The fact that the music just cuts off so weirdly. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it doesn't loop normally. Why doesn't it loop normally? Even more menacing than a normal cat. Because you can fly. Exactly. You're not safe. Oh, that's where it saved it. I was wondering where it got saved. Okay. Actually, I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do. Oh wait, but it might appear. Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Ho 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 ho. Oh ho 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 ho. I know what to do. I'm gonna do something for that. You know, since you did listen to my entire presentation about the you know, this entire school and stuff. Hatoful boyfriend. I'll give you a little something, but you gotta close your eyes though. You have to close your eyes. You can't see it. Can't see it yet, so close your eyes. Let me see how the music cutting off is just so jarring. Oh god, I just changed the BGM to something else, I think. Oh god. Let me see. Are you closing your eyes? Eyes are closed. They're closed. Are you sure? Are you 100% sure they're closed? Hold on. I'm making sure that you close your eyes. Close your eyes. Whoop. Okay. My eyes are shut. Okay. Are they? Are they? Ta-da! Here you go.
Welcome.
Here you go. Happy Valentine's Day. Here you go. See, I got you. There you go. You got a little present. Oh, I was cheating. I know. That's why I covered your eyes. There you go. See, I got you something. A bone. Yeah. Close, probably. What do you mean, probably? Also, Vtuber, thank you so much for being a member of Nylina for 29 months. Thank you. Now I'm hungry. See, there you go. There's your Valentine's Day gift. Time for the Katsudo's Battle Royale. Oh no. Is it a bird bone? No! I would get kicked out if I did that. And you have a chicken bone. Shh, they can't know that. They can't know that information. Is that a piece of bone for the MC? No. Not from the MC, no. You can't know that information. I'm supposed to be undercover. Shh. I would cherish this bone for all time in its honor. I'll bury it in the backyard. But you're supposed to chew on it, though. I'll take all of you down for this bone. Bring it on. Oh no, they're gonna battle royale for it. Put him up, Katsu's last one standing gets the bone. You're gonna battle royale for it now. Oh, so cute. Can you pat you in that form? I guess. I suppose you could. Mayhaps, yes. I guess so. I suppose. I'm not afraid of charm. Only one Katsu can get the only bone. Oh, I didn't think this would be how it would end. Oh no. It was supposed to just be, you know, a gift for listening to my silly little TED talk while we went around in the burp school. I'm finding a different BGM because this one keeps cutting off. Let me see. Let me see which ones I have that don't cut off as much as this one does. You have the bone, head pets are better. But the bone is supposed to be a present for you, though. It's supposed to be a present for you guys. You can't just do that. Chiaki accidentally causing the war between Doves and Hawks. Katsu edition with the bone gift. No! That wasn't the intention, though. That was not the plan. Man. I'm trying to find a different BGM. Just because this one cuts off a little too much. The problem is I don't know how these sound. How does this one sound? Oh, it didn't change for some reason. Oops. Is it just me or is it the same one that's sounding over and over? Oh, I don't know what's going on. I think it's just the same one playing over and over. Yep, okay. Never mind. I guess you're just getting that BGM. They're signing for the bone. I know them to find. It sounds similar, yeah. I changed it to like 2 different ones, but it just keeps playing the same one, so. Is there 2 instances? I don't think there is. I don't think there's 2 instances of it, so I don't know why there's... They was playing over everything else. I've had 2 songs playing. Do we? Am I hearing 2 songs at once? Are you? Okay, do you hear something right now? Oh, yeah, it doesn't like 2 songs. I don't know where the other song is coming from because, like, on my side, it's good. Now the first one stopped. There's a new song playing. Okay. Now it's muted. Okay, I don't know why you did that because I swapped that song forever ago. Oh. The songs are messing up. What is going on? No, it's fine. New song. Oh, now I hear one song. Okay, now I can't hear anything, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, on my side, I can't hear anything, so I don't know what you guys hear. I don't know why it's not playing on my side. I think it broke. I like what happened when you switched to this scene. This is a bit dramatic song. This was not the song that I was trying to play. Katsus, you must fight for this bone. This is the only bone that's left. It's a super dramatic song. Yes, this is the only bone that remains. Only one of you can obtain it. I'm kidding, don't actually fight for it. A fitting song for the Katsus to fight to the death. Don't actually. It's a super dramatic song, it is. I don't know why it changed to this one. This was not the one that I was trying to change to. Oh, fighting your honor, Chiaki. Won't let anyone else take it. No. Too late, you're all going down. This is good music to play during the Katsu Battle Royale. Someone stole the rest of the bones. I'll use explode if I can't have it. No one will. Oh god, no. I don't know why I played this song for some reason. This was not the one that I was looking for. Can I find the less dramatic one? I think it was this one. Oh, okay, well, I think it will just play after this song is done, it seems. I guess it might just play until this one's done. I don't know if it's playing double songs again. Okay, maybe now. Oh no, it's looping it. What song is muted? Wait, is it muted? Because now I can hear it. The new one is playing for us already? Wait, is it? It's not playing for me. Huh. It's not really playing for me. Is it the new one or is it the same one? As for me, it's playing the same one. I can't tell anymore. I think my OBS is bugged because I can't hear the same thing you guys are hearing. It is a new one. You have a light jazzy beat now. It's not playing. We can definitely hear a new track. No, I'm still hearing the old one for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it's bugged for me, but I'm still hearing the older song, the dramatic one. I can't hear the jazzy one. So... I did I walked in too high. Oh, meow, meow, meow. You wanna see my you wanna see my introduction card? Here. Jump scare. Hold on. I could have gone get it better if I wasn't in the way. Hold on. It's because I was in the way. I needed to move down. Okay, there you go. Wow. I probably should have hit the bone, but don't worry about that. Oh god. Oh. It's the second time you jump scare me today. I'm sorry. I know I jump scared you with that same sound effect when I was looking for it earlier. I just wanted you to see what I was gonna use it for. The only thing missing is I usually can't react to when Chiaki speaks. Yeah, if I have had a bit more time maybe, but... It's not playing the song for the intro card now either. Oh, VS broke! Hold on. Okay. Hold on, I think I can fix it. Hold on. Okay, now I did it. I think it did. I muted the music because, I think it was doubling it for some reason with the sound effect. that's what the sound was gonna be used for. It's such a good jump scare. Oh god. Thank you for the super enjoyable Valentine's Day stream. Enjoy the bone cartoons. Bye bye. Thank you for stopping by. Bye bye bye, Blade. But yeah, I'm gonna get that sound effect in my nightmares. It was for the deep dive. I had to make it immersive. That's why I look like this. Does Mia know anything about this game? She only heard of it, but I don't know if she watched when I actually got to that route. She's only heard about it from like what I asked her, but I don't know if she was still watching when I talked about that route. Actually, I can animate that in live today to make it into a model. Oh my god. That would actually... I feel like that would make it mega cursed. And do it? No. Wow, I have a great deep dive for me to watch. Oh no. Live to the realistic Chiaki dreams. Oh god, I feel like it'll be extra uncanny if it was actually like live to the animated. Oh no. I need live to the hyper-realistic Chiaki is superior form. Chiaki? What do you mean superior form? It's just RTX on. April's coming up. Oh god, April. So Chiaki, are you debuting this model? What do you mean debuting this model? What is that supposed to mean? Oh god. I'll be so cursed if I just like... For Valentine's Day, I just look like this. It comes back. This was the new model the boss was teasing. No, that's not it. That's not it. Nuh-uh. No way. That wasn't what I was teasing, no. It's something else. You see it when you see it, though. But it's not this. It's not this. This was made more last minute, though. Really love your second outfit, Chiaki. No. Not like this. Not like this. Oh, no. Man. Honestly, I could vibe with this, especially after I saw an edit of Titanic where the guy edits a cat to replicate Rose. It will all come back like a mouse tool, not the mouse tool. Is this gonna end up as like another Chiaki reference? Kind of like how the Loteria with a bunch of Chiaki references. Is this gonna end up a Chiaki reference? This particular thing, this entire thing. Is this gonna be my legacy? Oh god. Is that what this is gonna be? Yes. What do you mean, yes? Oh, we really need to update that Loteria with a new model. Yeah, if they ever do another one, you bet this is gonna be in there pretty much. Oh boy. Oh boy. I can only imagine. Two memes. RTX Incorporate wants you to spot the difference. Not the RTX. RTX on versus RTX off. But yeah, I'm so happy you guys like my silly little thing that I put together. There you go. See, I even got you a more normal present. I even got you a more normal present after, you know, I did kind of suggest you to listen to me talk about this wacky game. So here you go. Here's your more normal present. Here's your more regular traditional Valentine's Day present. April Fool's skit with the model. With the model piloting the other one like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. Thanks for doing this deep dive, Chiaki, as well as for the Valentine's Day bone. No problem. I'm glad you guys like the silly little deep dive. Yes, 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 yes. Nyum, 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 nyum. Alas. Alas, 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 alas. I do kind of have to make the schedule for next week. I haven't really, like, finished it. You say it like this presentation was already the greatest present we could have ever asked. I mean, it's not like traditionally like Valentine's Day-ish per se. So, you know. Schedule sneak peek. I already told you guys one of the things on the schedule. I can't just tell you the entire schedule. Seriously though, you really did do super good on the deep dive. It really was so much fun, and I enjoyed getting to learn way more about Hatoful than I needed to. Make sure to have a nice dinner. Thank you. It's not traditional Valentine's Day. It's better. Thanks for the stream, boss. It was a lot of fun seeing the idea you were cooking. You really should cook more often. Thank you for allowing me to cook. I did tell you guys I was scheming. I did say that I was scheming. You guys didn't know. They didn't know. They were not aware. It was really fun. You're great, Chiaki. Aw, thank you. Make sure to eat plenty. It must have used a lot of hours of your life researching all that. The amount of Hatoful boyfriend that I was researching. Because I played this too long ago and I couldn't remember all the details. It's more meaningful than that traditional Valentine's Day. Aw, thank you. Always let you cook. You have full access to the Nylina kitchen. Let's go! Kitchen privileges! That I would totally use responsibly. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. As one does. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. But yeah. I do kinda need to head out to have dinner and finish the schedule that I need to post tomorrow and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, his YouTube algorithm is probably destroyed by Hatoful boyfriend. Probably. I'm probably gonna get like Hatoful boyfriend videos on my recommended. I wouldn't be surprised. More bones, please. Fine. Here you go. You can have you have 2 of them. Here you go. Was it still only get tea and cereal? Oy. Don't call me out like that. It's Valentine's Day. You're supposed to be nice to me. You're supposed to be nice to me. It's Valentine's Day. Why are you calling me out like that, huh? I love how much you're making the Katsumi ride. It really feels like how I imagined how much work you put into this for us. Yeah, just like... Making the cat zoom around. Really feels like how I imagined you never being able to sit still. Yeah. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks again for the fun stream. I really appreciate how much work you put into this for us. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. 2 bones, but they're both mine. The greed. Biblical levels of greed. This is the greed that they warn you about in the Bible. 2 whole bones. Is this Christmas? It's Valentine's. You know, that's why. It's something yummy for dinner. Happy Valentine's Day. Peggy duplicating bones is the most amazing thing somehow. What can I say? I'm a cat of many skills. Yeah, I get to be a zooming cat. Naturally. It's Valentine's. You also need to be treated to a nice dinner and be spoiled. But... Jokes on you, Chiaki. I can read, so I never got the warnings the Bible talked about. There will only be 2. Oh, that didn't work. Here. Okay, that's the last one before I actually need to head out. Before I actually need to head out and get dinner and stuff, yeah. And actually finish the schedule.
Thank you for the tip.
Thanks for the stream and happy Valentine's Day from me and my biblical levels agreed. Not the biblical levels agreed. But thank you so much for the tip wraps. Thank you. Chiaki skills, hacking, being tubular, ultimate gamer, researching a lot, making amazing presentations and duplicating bones. One of these is not like the others. Yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, afternoon, whichever time it is for you. And I shall see you guys next week. Yeah. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Ciao. Bye. Don't forget to stay tubular though. Very, very important. And then by next week I shall return to my normal form. Because I won't be undercover at the bird school anymore. So I shall return to my normal form by then. Bye for now. Don't forget to stay tubular, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.